All right, it's Thursday. It's the BS sessions with me and Jerry Supe, man. This is your pick, man. What are we doing, man?
Yeah, I
What's
know.
going on?
It's weird because I actually picked this topic. Are you kidding me? But let's go through the interviews here real quick before I mention the topic. Here we go. I'm gonna see if I can get it right tonight. I always screw up Tim's name, but I'm gonna get it right tonight. I promise. Tim, you ready?
I'm ready.
Tim Wirasnik.
There you go, buddy.
All right,
There
fucking
you
got
go.
it right. I have it right here, phonetically spelled. I was not gonna fuck it up tonight.
I told you, you've been practicing.
Then we got the man with the kick shirt on and the cool. I don't see a Kiss poster tonight. Oh, there it is over on the side. Okay, yeah, there it is. I haven't had him on in a while. It's good to have him back, Joseph. How you doing, man? Joseph Staub.
Doing great. Yeah, I said to Andy and Al last week when I was on their show. It's been my schedule's been nuts. This is my first time on this show in over a month. It was my first time on Black Spinner last week in over a month. It's just been It's been nice to have a break, but it's great to be back and see everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that when I dangled out this topic, I figured we'd get a couple bites that want to do this show because I know this guy is pretty popular among you guys. So anyway, our next guest, my brother from, I don't know, we got 100 podcasts together right now, but we're having a good time doing it. Andy Rodriguez, man, how you doing?
I thought it was only 93, but over 100. Okay. No, I am doing all right, man. I am hanging out. I'm so excited to do this. This is a great topic. I've always liked Phil Collins and Charlie Brown, so it's good to see that Charlie Brown grew up. So it's pretty cool.
Well, Andy just mentioned the topic, so I might as well say it. Now we're gonna do.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean
no. We're gonna do. Okay. You know, I'm a hits Genesis Phil Collins guy, and to be honest with you, for the longest time I couldn't tell a Genesis song from a Phil Collins song, but they were good though. Don't get me wrong, they were good. Whatever band it came from, either him or Genesis. But lately, I've been trying to delve deeper into them. I'm trying, and I'm getting a little bit better at separating some of these songs. But anyway, we're doing the best Genesis Phil Collins songs. Just basically with Phil Collins vocals, whether it's solo or with Genesis. We're gonna do our favorite songs from Phil singing lead, and other than that, yeah, I guess we can start the BS now. I don't know what else to fucking say. Let's do it.
All right, man. Joe Perry doesn't rule out a new Aerosmith music, Jerry.
Yeah, I'd listen to it. I love Aerosmith so much, I'd listen to it. Don't say I'm probably gonna like it, but I'll listen to it.
Oh, that last album. But the thing is, Brad Whitford wanted to get them back in the studio to do fucking just all of them, just write a song like the album like the 70s, and they all poo-pooed him and brought in outside songwriters and Carrie Underwood. And he said, I just want to get in there and just rock. And Brad's always been the great member of Aerosmith to me, man.
That would be, a fucking plus if they wrote the songs themselves to get me to listen to them, I think. So,
yeah.
I understand they probably need money grabs before they retire, but still, man, just do one album with the fucking you guys. You know what I mean? Camp yourself in a room for a couple weeks and write some good fucking music. Take a couple of fucking tokes, man. Go back to the 70s, man. Fuck it. You're 80s now. You'd be stupid not to take drugs.
Yeah, come on.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm pretty sure they got needles somewhere where they can get back on it.
I'm just kidding, but
I don't think some of them ever stopped, but
maybe. But especially if they were writing it themselves, I'd be interested. But I'll listen to it anyway. I'm a big enough Aerosmith fan to give them the benefit of the doubt. So yeah.
What about you, Andy?
Yeah, with me, their last 3 albums, they just weren't good. And I know that they had outside writers all the way from, let's say, Done with Mirrors, all the way up to now. But the problem or the difference was the last 3 albums, man, the outside songwriting really did take over quite a bit. It wasn't just helping or co-writing; they were writing the whole album pretty much.
Yeah,
and that's not good, man. So if they're going to come out the way that Whitford said that they're going to come out, and dude, I am all for it because I like them all the way to Pump. I mean, I stuck with them all the way to Pump.
I like Get a Grip.
Oh, wait. Get a Grip. I'm sorry.
And Nine Lives is a very good album, too.
You see right there, I kind of.
Oh, I love 90s.
But-
See,
Yeah, I'm probably
that's
the
how
only
I
one
feel
here.
about.
I'm probably the only one here likes just push play. So
I
did
see
like that album.
sound you made is how I feel about Get a Grip.
I like Get a Grip. I really thought that
I
they
like Get a
stretched up
Grip.
songs instrumentally.
Aerosmith are my hometown band. They're from New
Yeah.
Hampshire, and I don't care what anybody says. They're all from New Hampshire, except for Joey Kramer, who is from Massachusetts. But everybody else is a New Hampshire boy.
Oh, yeah. And you have to fucking include Joey in this too. Sorry.
Yes.
They went to Boston to become famous, so everybody says they're Boston bad boys or whatever, but they're from New Hampshire. Tom Hamilton graduated from New London High School, which is about 20 minutes south of me. But anyways,
Ooh.
Aerosmith, in the 70s, you couldn't touch them. They were great. They were great, but I saw them on their Done with Mirrors tour with Ted Nugent open for them, and that's a great album. And that's the last great album Aerosmith has done, as far as I'm concerned. They went to a singles band. I mean, there's certain singles off certain albums that, like their last one, the Music from the Fifth Dimension or whatever. So there's a track on there called Street Jesus, which is awesome.
Yeah, the Joe Perry one.
But the album itself sucks.
Oh, bad.
Except for that track. And it's like, if you're gonna go into the studio and you're gonna have nothing but horns and nothing but, there's 4 musicians in that band, there should be 4 musical instruments being played, the way I look at it. But,
Yeah, I don't mind horns as long as they're used right.
yeah, and that's the catch. That's the catch, is it, as long as they're used right. I don't know. To me, it's like, okay, they were great while they were great, but it's time to call it a day, fellas.
Aerosmith did invent the keyboard horns, I think. And then Motley Crue used it.
Yeah.
Everybody started using that. Fucking Joseph, what do you think about them making a new album?
I mean, I love how the title of the headline is Joe Perry doesn't rule out Aerosmith making new music. Well, I think the record buying public has ruled out Aerosmith making new music. I don't think it's up to Joe Perry anymore. The Music from Another Dimension bombed, if I recall correctly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You
Target exclusive.
Also, the fact that it was like over a decade between that and Just Push Play. Nobody counts Honkin' on Bobo. Don't even act like it.
I like Honkin' on Bobo.
I'm sure you do.
I like the blues.
I forgot about it until you mentioned it. Actually,
the eggs. There you go.
Baby, please don't go, man.
I'll tell you what, my parents saw them live on that tour, and half the crowd walked out when they started playing those blues songs.
They're a great album. Doesn't mean you need to see it live.
I have no interest. I honestly don't think even if they sat down and all wrote an album together that they'd make a good album, because it's been so long since they actually did it that I don't know if they could do it anymore. Like a lot of other people here said, give me Pump and Back. I don't need anything after Pump.
Plus, what is the drive for them? I mean, they're all gazillionaires.
Yeah.
They have all lost fortunes and regained fortunes.
Yeah.
They're all living in mansions with porn star girlfriends or whatever. What's the, I mean, you're not proving anything.
You gotta love your craft, man. You love your craft. It's hard for some of these guys to quit.
Love your craft. You could have proved it the last 10 albums, and you haven't.
Yeah, that was quite a bit of,
It's like they gave up after I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. It's like,
oh no, it was before that, Mark.
Before that,
it was Get a Grip. It was the Alicia Silverstone
I like
videos.
Get a Grip.
I like the version that they were originally going to release.
Eat the Rich,
what they put out was awful.
Dude,
aside from like Eat the Rich and a couple other tracks, I love Living on the Edge. But other than that,
Amazing's awesome. That guitar solo by Joe Perry. Oh, I love Amazing.
Oh, that's a great song.
I love Amazing.
Of that trilogy, Crying's the only one I like.
See,
I
like all of them. But that's what I mean is everything after Done with Mirrors, in my book, my humble opinion, everything, they changed their sound completely. and they were going that way on Done with Mirrors compared to the 70s.
Even
But
Rockin' a Hard Place.
then it became well, I don't count Rockin' Hard Place because there's different members and it's going to sound different, you know. I understand that, but the original band, when they came back with Permanent Vacation and they came out with Ragdoll, I was like, what the fuck is this?
Fucking love that song, dude.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I love
Oh
that
man,
Permanent Vacation and Pump, I think, are amazing albums if you lose most of the singles.
Oh, I love Angel. I love that album.
Angel's a great song, and
There's
a couple,
lady.
a couple of the singles on Pump are okay, but
St.
like
John, St. John.
The best track on Permanent Vacation to me was Hangman Jury.
Hangman Jury,
fucking
fucking St. John was
Yeah.
good too.
St. John's
That's an
great.
Aerosmith song. Other than that, you can have it to me. And then you go on to Pump, and Pump Monkey on My Back was a good tune. And there's like a couple others in there, but you know, the poppy shit was like, no, thank you, man. What, you know, turn up your guitars.
Yeah, I could do without What It Takes. I can do without that song.
I agree on that one.
I could do without I Don't Want to Miss a Thing.
Love that song.
I mean, that fucking I give Diane Warren no credit. The fucking woman can write fucking hits that bring in money. I don't like the song very much.
Yeah, but none of them have aged well at all.
No.
Oh no,
like Kiss from Hot in the Shade.
I actually
have
one of her solo albums, and it's not really bad, actually. I mean, she's a very talented woman.
I didn't know she actually recorded music. I thought she just wrote it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I didn't know she had an album.
Yeah.
All
the
right.
more you know.
All right, man. Let's get into this. Shit, they're gonna make Peacock's announced a brand new prequel series to the iconic horror franchise Friday the 13th Crystal Lake, named for camp where Mrs. Voorhees and Jason terrorized countless college-age counselors. Coming of age platform June 13th, 2025. What do you think about this, Joseph? You're the horror dude in here, man.
1 second. Let me check something out real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, no, this is. I don't know where you got this from, Mark, but they announced that like 2 years ago.
Oh, I just saw it.
Yeah, it's been in development hell for like 2 years. When you brought it up, okay, Peacock, the article from Peacock that says Peacock announces Friday the 13th prequel series Crystal Lake was from November 1st, 2022.
Huh.
Well,
and there's probably all caught up. Probably
and
caught
there's
up
been
with
no
COVID
news about it since.
Yeah.
Well, it says
COVID
2025.
like
I don't know.
No. It's all the rights, because the script writer for the original Friday the 13th has been like a bitch for the last 30 years. And there's been like that's why there's been only one Friday the 13th movie in the last like 20 years. Because
that was a good
the rights have been so back and forth, it's kind of weird. But no, yeah, it's been back and forth for a couple of years now, but yeah, no, they keep saying it's coming, and then they never make any other announcements about it. So
I think it would be cool though if it did happen.
I don't really care about a prequel series because the whole point of it is Jason and Mrs. Voorhees and stuff.
They're probably going to show Jason being tortured.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
It's like when they did the TV show with Psycho. I mean, I just didn't really care for that.
Bates Motel?
Bates Motel.
I love Bates Motel.
I think it over-explained it. You don't need to explain.
I love Vera Farmiga. I think she's fucking awesome actress.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Bates Motel is fucking awesome.
Yeah. I just don't think. I think that the movie Psycho is so great on its own, and the sequels are great too. The couple that Anthony Perkins was in,
Psycho 2, maybe.
Psycho 2 and 3, I really like. Psycho 2 and 3 I really like, but the twist at the end of Psycho is so good that I don't think that all needs explained. I think the last 5 minutes of Psycho do a pretty good job of explaining what happened.
Right. I agree.
That's true. Yeah, you have anything on that, Andy?
Well, now that I know that it's been in production or the thought's been out there for a very long time, it sounds like it might never happen. Thank you, Joseph. But I'm excited for it if it does happen. You know, just to see how Jason became Jason. I know that we know everything about his mother and stuff like that, but it'll be interesting to see the relationship. The one with the Bates Motel, dude, there was like 6 or 7 seasons of that. I mean, come on, that was too much.
Yeah.
You
5 would have been good.
To see a 1.5 hour movie to show it that'd be cool.
Which they did. They made that. They made that in like the 90s or 2000s. They made a Bates Motel movie.
Yeah.
I don't even remember that, so it must have bombed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was like it was a made for TV movie.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I never knew that existed.
Don't watch that one Psycho remake that was horrible. What was that?
Oh, the Vince Vaughn
Oh,
one.
Vince Vaughn.
No.
Oh my God, no way, dude. No.
I used to buy movies without watching them. And I'll tell you the truth. I bought that movie. It's Vince Vaughn. I like Vince Vaughn. So I bought it. Oh, it's Psycho. But let's see what they did. I watch it. I go, fuck, I need to watch these movies before I buy them from now on.
No, it's not that Vince wasn't bad in the movie. He wasn't awful. And it was a woman, the girl just died.
That's made me stop buying things blindly because of that movie.
It was a woman that got killed in a car crash a couple years ago.
And Hayes.
Yeah. I mean, there's some talent there, but there's something weird about how it was done. I don't know. I mean,
there's talent there, but you're not going to be Anthony Perkins.
The movie is called Psycho for the Beginning. It was from 1990, and Anthony Perkins is in it, but it's all flashbacks to his childhood.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Part 3 was the one with the telephone call-in from the radio show, right? Was that in part 3?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I like that one too.
No, part 2, I love when he whacks the old lady over the head with the shovel at the end. That's so
I think the girl taking a piss, that was the best kill of
all. Yeah, that was good too.
Slit her throat and then fucking stabbed her. I mean, that was badass, dude.
All right, cool. So anybody got anything to say about that, Tim?
No, I'm not a horror fan at all, so I really don't care.
But I have to admit, I am looking forward to Alien Romulus, man.
Oh, that does look good, dude.
It does look like it's going back to the original movie. I mean, who was the producer? That guy is producing it again. Who was it again?
Ridley Scott.
Ridley Scott. Yeah, he's
done the last couple, and they've been hit or miss.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, I like Prometheus, but I didn't like the one.
No, he did. Like Prometheus and Covenant.
Oh, I didn't like those at all.
Covenant was horrible.
Those two movies.
Yeah, those were both Ridley Scott.
John Hamm was in there.
Ridley Scott had nothing to do with
Michael Fassbender. Yeah, Michael Fassbender was good in those.
Oh,
movies. Other than that, yeah. But this Romulus movie looks really good. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I hope it doesn't disappoint me, but I'm looking forward to it.
That new Twisters was good.
You're still never going to touch the original, though.
No. Or the second one. The second one was awesome.
The thing is with them aliens, I just started watching them, so I watched 1 and 2, and boy was I impressed. I can't wait to see 3.
They're gonna be a little disappointed.
Don't do it to yourself, Andy.
I like it. The rock dude's in there. I like that guy.
Yeah. Not the Rock, but the guy that played Rock. Remember that sitcom?
Yeah, the Rock. Yeah, the show. Yeah.
Oh, Charles Dutton.
Charles Dutton. Yeah.
Charles Dutton.
He's good in that movie. I'm telling you, he's good in that movie.
And the guy that was in the Yes Owner of Our Lonely Heart videos in that too. The actor guy in that.
I know, but that guy's good in there. I can like him. Charles Dutton.
Yeah, you know what? They were supposed to be a new. I remember seeing screenshots. I don't know how accurate it was, but they had drawings of where Hicks was still alive, and they were going to do a movie with him still in it. I remember seeing the picture with his face all fucked up. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
On the internet? I don't know what happened to that. I guess it fell through or something, but that would make kind of
because I think Michael Biehn just didn't want to do it.
Didn't want to do it. All right, yeah.
Because originally they were going to bring all the survivors back, but it ended up just being Ripley.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so let's get to the next subject. What was it? Sammy says there's enough material for a new Van Halen now, but I'll skip that.
Thank you.
Because we got to.
No. I mean, it's cool if he wants to do that. I don't think he's got to do it without. He's not going to do it without Alex's permission.
Oh no!
So I don't think that's going to happen.
The lawsuits will fly.
Oh yeah.
No, I was going to skip that and go to something because this. We used to talk about this band on the show a lot, and they're making a comeback today. Journey. Jonathan Cain and Neil Sean are suing each other again for misuse of the credit cards. Jerry,
and yet they're still touring together this week.
They said the tour is flawless, but they're fighting behind the scenes. Oh my God, you can't make this shit up, Jerry.
I don't know if anybody's seen the videos, but Arnell sounds rough lately.
Oh, dude! I mean, when he tried to sing like fucking Steve Perry, I mean, Steve on Jerry's voice trying to sing like Steve Perry just blew out his voice trying to sound that.
And
he was good when I saw him.
The sad part I was hoping that bringing Dean Casanova back would give him a little bit of a break.
Right?
But
yeah.
Looking at the set list, Dean's singing like nothing.
I know. He used to do Mother. He used to do Mother, Father, and Faithfully. He's
singing one song, I think.
Wow.
I don't know. They must need the money. That's all I got to say.
I mean, they still sound good live.
Both
I mean,
Jonathan Cain and Neil Sean go through money like you can, you can't print enough.
Well, everybody's blaming Neil's wife on this shit because she is overspending.
With Ross Valerie and Steve Smith, I mean, it was.
Yeah, that was a poor coup attempt right there. That didn't work out.
Yeah.
Very well.
Them two guys, Jesus Christ, they get fired from that band more times, and Carter's got liver pills and get rehired, and no, you're gone.
They tried to go in the back door and try to ring up Jonathan Cain and Neil Sean, but that didn't work very well. So
yeah.
All right, man. Anything else on Journey? Anybody?
No, absolutely.
What a really like middle of the road band to have such drama. It's hilarious. It really is. Like it's not like this. It's not like this big like sex, drugs, and rock and roll band having all this like.
Well, they're doing a stadium tour.
It's like the group, the guys that sing "Don't Stop Believing" have all this drama going on.
It may be Neil, because I would love to see more of the Journey through time, but him and fucking Greg Rowley got into it.
Now
so
him and Greg Rowley.
Maybe it is Neil. I don't know.
My thing is, I know Greg Rowley. He's retired and he wants to be retired.
I don't know. He kind of seemed like he enjoyed himself.
That's fine. That's fine. You do your own thing. But Steve Perry's still out there. He's still alive, and they haven't even sniffed at bringing him back.
Neil says
he just signed a solo contract. Steve Perry.
Yeah, Neil says he wants the guy to come on and do songs with him. I don't know how true that is, but Neil's trying to.
I know Steve has been very open about not wanting to do like the full big stadium tours anymore. Like he can't do it.
Yeah, he could come out for a few songs every now and then. Would be cool.
Well, it's like Sammy Hagar saying David Lee Roth come out for a few songs. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, like that'll happen.
He didn't when they toured together. Yeah.
I know Sammy had a video where he's knocking on David's dressing room. Come on, David! You said you're gonna come out of your place. He was egging the fuck out of David, and David didn't bite. David just stayed in his room.
Yeah, there'd be a fly on the wall in that fucking tour, dude. I'm telling you, man.
Dave's either on his bus or in the dressing room, and he's going. There you go. Here comes Sammy. Bottle of tequila in one hand, his dick in the other.
Yeah, you figure that'd be one good thing they agree on, that fucking whiskey and drinking, you know what I mean? So yeah, I mean Dave was a partier, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, I tell you what, I don't like to laugh at people's misery, but I do love all the people coming out and saying negative stuff about this Best of All Worlds tour. I really do. I love all the people coming out and complaining about it.
Why?
Because
I'm only seeing the haters complain about it. All the people who like it saying it's been really good.
Well, no, you haven't seen all these people that are like coming out and like complaining about going to the shows and stuff like that, and like you haven't seen all those things that are going around.
What's going on?
Yeah, like people are complaining about stuff going on at the shows and stuff like that. People that went to the shows, not like the haters that aren't going to the shows. But
another thing I don't get about Sammy is Sammy has.
Well, I'm going to see him August.
He quit Van Halen, and he has made it a point to say that he quit Van Halen. Yet though, he never stops talking about them. He loves to talk about the time in Van Halen, and he's doing a tour of nothing but Van Halen tunes.
He's got some solo shit in there.
So
some Montrose.
Come on, Sam. He should be. Sammy Hagar should be worried about Sammy Hagar.
Some chicken foot.
Mark, you realize he's playing those like 6 songs as an excuse to play the 20 Van Halen songs.
I'm fine with that. I love those 20 Van Halen songs, so I'm good with that, man. I know
you are.
Yeah,
I still don't think there's any world where he has any right to be going out there and singing "Jump" and ain't talking about love with neither Van Halen brother on the stage.
But to be in fairness, he did those with Eddie. He did those songs.
Yeah, but Eddie and Alex aren't there anymore.
Well, it doesn't matter. He still did it. It's like people getting on Brian Hill, Bad Company, going out doing Bad Company songs. They're pissed off at him. He was in the band for a long time, and fucking Paul Rogers was a dick to Brian. Fucking,
Okay.
I had to bring that shit up.
Doesn't Mike sing both of those songs, or just Ain't Talking About Love?
I have no clue. I would
He
never
just
watch
does
a video
Ain't Talking
of it.
About Love, I think.
Mike
You
does.
don't see Sammy touring on, Sammy Hagar revisits Paper Money. For
Paper
Montrose.
Money was a bad Montrose album, man. But
you don't see him doing it, do you?
but Sammy's got a lot of bad albums, like 9 out of 10 scale. Fucking that album sucks. But fucking, I want to see this tour. I like the set list. I think it's really cool, and he's changing it up on some cities, so I fucking love it.
Well, brother, you enjoy it. Seriously, I'm not trying. You enjoy it seriously.
I will, man. Going with Robert Hay.
Robert Hay now, huh?
No, Robert or Bob. I'm just giving him a shout out because he's a loyal watcher, and he's been on here, and he did a good job when he's on the show. So give him some props there, man. But let's move on. Let's end the BS with Bill Ward. I'd love to play one more final concert with Black Sabbath, Jerry.
Well, I don't think that's going to happen either. But there's just no way it could happen. I mean, Ozzy's done for. I mean,
yeah, Ozzy can't, dude. There's no way.
Geezer's taking his family to see Tay-Tay all the time now. So
he's hanging out at Raider games.
Yeah, so you know what?
Fuck the Raiders.
It's kind of like the wrong time. It's the wrong time for him to say that. He should have said that years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
well, he didn't. They threw him to the curb.
True. Exactly.
Ozzy's the one that started this whole thing. He's the one that said, "I'd like to do one final show with the original Black Sabbath."
I don't know. Sharon might prop him up on the stage if the money's right.
They did that. They did that at the Super Bowl, didn't they?
No, like the
Rams game. He was in the Rams game, and he looked like he was on a cross.
Yeah.
Yep. They propped him up, dude. He was stapled to a cross.
I don't know.
How demeaning is that for fucking the Prince of fucking the fucking Prince of Darkness, fucking Ozzy Osbourne being stapled to a fucking cross, trying to sing like this, and he's trying to bang his head. His head is barely moving. That was fucking sad. I'm glad they cut away from that early because I was crying.
Yeah. Enough's enough, dude. Come on. I mean, we already know that Black Sabbath is one of the greatest bands of all time. We know Ozzy solo is one of the best solo acts that has ever lived. What more is there to prove? I mean, that's enough.
You know what's really sad when I think about it? I saw him on that No More Tours Tour 2, and it was embarrassing then. And I just realized in my head that was 6 years ago.
Ooh.
It's over. It's done. Like he could barely move out on stage 6 years ago.
The last time I saw him was on that Black Sabbath farewell tour. I mean, like the last tour that they did with Sabbath.
And that's been almost 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, just enjoy your riches your last few years, dude. Enjoy your life, man.
Well, it's not up to him. It's up to the woman who has her hand up his ass.
I saw moving his mouth. Ultimate Sin tour, and I thought he was pretty good. Of course, that was 86.
You had Jakey Lee.
It was like 86.
Oh my god!
Not exactly Ozzy's best look either.
No, that was the Designing Women.
Yeah,
I think only Gene Simmons looked worse than the
I like that last song that Ozzy did with Steve Stevens, like Crack Cocaine. That was fucking pretty cool. Did you guys?
I love Steve. Yeah, I love Steve Stevens.
Did you hear that song, Crack Cocaine, with them?
The one he did with Billy Morrison.
Yeah, Billy Morrison and Steve Stevens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was good.
That was a good song, man.
I'm worried about the 4 members of Black Sabbath, the 4 original members of Black Sabbath. Yeah. 2 of them, I think, could still do one show.
Yeah.
The other 2, if
well, we don't know what Bill could do. We honestly don't.
He said
actually, all 3 of them probably good, just not Ozzy.
Not Ozzy. And it's a crime.
Just fine.
Bring fucking Tony Martin back out and do that with this box set. Honestly.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, you do it while it's hot. Exactly.
Capitalize on the box set. Get Eric Singer's not doing shit these days.
No.
Get Eric Singer
again. He was in Sabbath at one time.
That's what I'm saying. He was on those Tony Martin albums. Like, get him out. Get Geezer and Tony and
Don't
Tony
say
Martin.
original Black Sabbath. Just say Black Sabbath.
Yeah, it was called Black Sabbath.
Anybody that's ever been in Black Sabbath,
Idol or something like that.
This says Black Sabbath on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I always thought that Tony Martin sounded like a cross between Ozzy and Dio. Yeah, I really loved his vocals.
He did.
Speaking of, this is completely neither here nor there, but Tony Martin's last solo album, great.
I liked it too. I bought it because Dr. Fuck interviewed him for that. Remember? Like,
yeah,
really good. Shout out to Dr. Fuck, Rock and Metal Combat Podcast. Great interview, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not your
really
buddy.
Great album.
Good.
Back it up a little bit. Back it up, Mark. Back it up.
Okay.
Because Tony
you know
Martin
what he
Thornton's
says.
Great. I know.
Yeah.
Eyeball.
You'll get it. Eyeball.
No, Tony Martin Thornton's great album.
Yeah, it is good, man. Well, let's one more story, man. We didn't do any sports really. Mike Trout out for the season. Should he retire? Yeah. Would he be a Hall of Famer, Jerry?
Yes, absolutely. First ballot Hall of Famer. It's a shame he's injury prone lately, but yeah, absolutely. His numbers support. He's definitely Hall of Fame material.
Oh,
Andy.
I don't know.
Oh,
he hadn't done anything.
He's been on a terrible team in Anaheim all these years. He only went to World Series like what, once?
So move. No. You know, I mean, you don't have to stay there.
Well, he doesn't like the light shining on him. He just wants to play baseball. So that's why he stays with the Angels, because he's in obscurity there.
Because the light's not going to shine on him. The
Yankees would have took him years ago, and he would. Yeah, and then he wouldn't go.
Would he have been as good of a player if he would have been on a better team? I don't know.
Yeah, he was with Shohei, and Shohei didn't do shit with him either.
He reminds me of the what the hell was his name? A guy he played for Washington, the Senators. And he was really good on a shitty team. And then he moved to Philly, and he's still there.
Bryce Harper?
Harper. Yes.
He's tearing it up in Philly, man. What do you
I know, but when he was in Washington, they were a not so great team.
Then they won the World Series right when he left.
He did, yeah.
Right when he left, they won the World Series. They beat my Dodgers in the first round. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Anthony Rendon has been a fucking hack of a player for the Angels since
he's been horrible with the Angels. But
Trout always reminded me of Bryce Harper.
Bryce Harper's awesome. I love him on the Dodgers. Fuck.
Don't worry, it'll probably happen sooner or later.
Oh, shut up.
They'll pay. Don't worry.
Hey,
they'll get kicked out of the first round.
Hey, I just want to say prayers to whoever's a Christian out there. Freddie Freeman's son Maximus, he's going through a lot of shit. So give prayers to Freddie. He's been away from the team because his son has had like a brain. They said they usually grow out of it, but he's getting better. They just took him off the ventilator.
Yeah,
today.
that Julian Barr disease.
Yeah,
that's pretty
major. Prayers to his son. You know,
even
if you're a Dodger hater, this is a little kid, man.
Yeah, and prayers to Pink Floyd, because I saw an article today that Nick Mason can see them doing AI in the future. I'm like, no.
Prayers for them. Prayers for them.
Exactly. Don't do it.
Prayers for better judgment.
And then he was saying that Roger and David will never be friends, but maybe we could do an AI thing where they can act like they're friends, you know? And so I'm like, no.
It's just Nick Mason on stage with AI replicas of Roger and David.
Exactly. Maybe he's just joking to fucking get headlines, you know?
It's literally just Nick Mason, the saucer full of secrets, plus AI duplicates of Roger and David.
I saw that. I'm like, no.
Hey, can I weigh in on the thing about?
Yeah, go for it.
Trout.
Oh, sorry, dude.
Trout's a great player. I'm sorry that he gets hurt. He's injury prone, but he's not a Hall of Famer. I don't think so.
Wasn't he a 3-time MVP?
Yeah, those are voted by sports writers.
Still, that holds a lot of merit in baseball. Hall of Fame voting.
Yeah, you know, as far as I'm concerned, in any of these leagues, I don't care if it's the NBA, MLB, football, whatever. Anybody that goes into the Hall of Fame should be voted on by current Hall of Famers in that league. They shouldn't be voted on by writers. Who the hell are writers?
They do that in the baseball Hall of Fame.
They've never played the game. They have no clue.
At least the NFL, I think they're voted in, but no, the sports writers voted
No,
in.
it's always the sports writers, yeah.
Yeah, the players vote.
It's a combination. It's like a combination of things. Like it's like some league. It's like league people and sports. I know for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, it's like some like players and coaches. It's like a secret. It's like basically a secret club. So you're never supposed to know who it really is that's voting for them, because then you can like hound those people. But I know it's like a kind of a mix. And I know baseball is the same way, where it's like there's a writer's vote and there's a athlete's vote and there's all this different kind of stuff that goes into it, I think.
But I just think it should be current Hall of Famers. They're the ones that know what it's like, what it takes to become a Hall of Famer, because they're already there. So if anybody's going to judge anybody's career to go into the Hall of Fame, it's somebody that's already there. Not some writer that, I think this guy sucked because he pissed me off in an interview one time.
That's why Barry Bonds doesn't get in.
Well, no, that's because of the Peds.
Barry Bonds.
Well, yeah, but he was a Hall of Fame player before he went to the Giants.
That's a problem.
But it's forever tainted. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sosa. Who's that guy? Paul
Mark
Mara,
McGuire.
Those guys, man.
McGuire. Clemens isn't in the Hall.
Yeah, Clemens.
Yeah.
But like somebody made a great point. I was watching an Orioles game a couple of days ago, and one of the commentators made a great point. Yeah. Cal Ripken Jr. There was 8 voters who thought he shouldn't be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And
was one of them Nick Wright? I hate that fucking
probably
guy.
But no, the commentator said he was 8 votes away from being a unanimous Hall of Famer, and I hope those 8 guys never got to vote in another Hall of Fame ever.
No
again.
shit, they shouldn't be. I mean, come on now.
I remember watching that game where you got what the games played on ESPN. Yep. They had that
when the banner dropped
and
down.
I'm not an Orioles fan, you know, I'm a diehard, but I watch that because that was fucking baseball history. Yeah. And 8 writers didn't think he deserved to be the fucking.
You know the cool thing about the cool thing
single-handedly ended the 1994-95 player strike because all the entire league refused to play Scabs because it would break Cal's streak.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember that. I think the first thing he did is take a day off afterwards, I think.
Yes.
Didn't
he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know he got lucky. I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard a story about his 2 kids happened to be born on days off.
Yes.
And how lucky is that? Because he said he would have taken the day off.
There's a great video on YouTube that goes over all the times he almost missed a game.
Yeah.
Whether like an injury or like almost getting benched or like early in his career almost getting benched and actually, it wasn't like he didn't take a day off like right after he broke. He still played for another like 3 years after that.
I thought a couple of days he took one off or something.
No,
he played. He did.
No, he played for another like 2 seasons after that, and then he stopped.
But yeah, 6 people did vote for Cal in the Hall. I mean, what the fuck, dude? Come on.
Yeah.
But it's like stupid shit like that where it's like it really shows like, and the Pro Football Hall of Fame is the same way of like people that aren't in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and like me as a huge Steelers fan, there's like four or five guys from the 70s Steelers that aren't in the Hall of Fame, and the league excuse is always, well, there's already a bunch of 70s Steelers in the Hall of Fame. They're in there for everybody. LC Greenwood is not in the Hall of Fame.
Oh wow, really?
I don't think Jack.
Greenwood
I don't think
is not in the Hall of Fame.
Is Jack Lambert in the Hall of Fame? I don't think he's in there.
Oh, Jack Lambert is in the Hall of Fame. Yeah.
It's got to be.
I know Stallworth and Swan both are.
Stallworth and Swan. Lambert is. Ernie Holmes isn't.
I guess Rocky Blyer.
Rocky Blyer's not.
Blunt is.
Mel Blunt is.
Franco, Bradshaw, Swan.
Franco, of course.
Yeah.
I mean,
of course,
Stallworth,
Swan.
Lambert.
Yeah, I'm happy you guys beat the Rams. Thank you.
But
the Rams.
but there's like
right, Jerry. The Rams.
The politics of all this stuff, where it's like, well, all these guys are in, so you don't have to put everybody in. But I'm like, okay, but then those guys and like LC Greenwood's no longer with us, so like he's never gonna have that moment of getting his gold jacket, and like
that's like Hall Chris Squire of Yes, right?
Yeah, Hall of Famers are so stupid.
I always felt
all Hall of Fame suck.
Pretty much.
But we need to remember the Hall of Fame should mean the best of all time. That's what Hall of Fame is.
Well,
and in my opinion, it's got to be the best of the best.
Okay.
So
I'll ask you a question, Andy. The best of the
Sure, of
best,
course.
right?
yeah,
Who's the greatest
best of the
basketball
best.
player? Who's the greatest NBA player to ever play the game?
Well, first of all, I don't follow basketball that much anymore, but in my opinion, of what I watched personally, it would be Michael Jordan.
I disagree with you, and here's why.
Right? Sure.
The NBA, they play basketball to win titles. What they play for. And money, but to win titles.
Yeah, he's got 6.
Bill Russell has 13 NBA championships, more than anybody
that's because
else.
the teams, there was nobody who could guard Bill Russell.
And listen to me.
Fuck the
Two
Celtics.
of those titles.
Fuck the
Two
Celtics.
of those titles, he was player coach. Coached the team. So if you want to bring in their resumes, it's Bill Russell, hands down.
The only one who could guard him was Wilt Chamberlain, but Wilt Chamberlain was on terrible teams against the Celtics.
Michael Jordan had the stats. I'm sorry, Andy. Michael Jordan had the stats, but he fucking elevated the NBA.
He did.
I mean, he fucking made it. He got
Bill
fucking
Russell
shoes
did
named
when he
after
was
him.
Can I disagree with that? Because
Bill Russell didn't have a shoe. Come on, man.
There's
Michael
two
Jordan.
players. There's
My
two
point
players
is
when the
you cannot
NBA.
compare generations.
Hey, let me
You
talk.
can't
There's two
compare
players.
generations.
There's two players that fucking set it up for Michael Jordan, Bird and fucking Magic Johnson. Without those two,
Of course they were
the Celtics
great.
and Lakers. That set it up for Jordan because those two.
Of course, they came up
rivals.
and it was
For
Jordan's
college,
turn.
yeah. Bird and-
Obviously.
I hate the Celtics, but I'm giving a Celtic team fucking credit there.
Of course, because Jordan faced Bird and the Celtics when they were pretty much on their decline.
Right.
Bird.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Detroit Pistons. He faced them whenever going down too.
Who did?
Jordan.
I think that Isaiah Thomas.
They were
Bill
like in the
Laimbeer.
middle.
What the
They were
end?
in the middle. I mean,
Yeah.
he shut them down.
I don't know,
And,
man.
Either way, these are all great players we're talking about. Like
Yeah.
these are like every player that's been named in the last couple of minutes is like 100% like top of the like league Hall of Famers.
Right, but that's what we're talking about. Is who the
right.
greatest
But
player
I'm not going to agree about Bill Russell because I never saw him play.
And that's my point is you cannot compare generations of athletes. You can't.
I think Shaq would have ate up Bill Russell. Just saying.
He probably would have.
I think Shaq would have
It's a
killed him.
different game because back,
But it was a different
in his
game.
days, you could back in Bill Russell's days.
I know.
You could
I'm
do a
proving,
lot-
I'm proving your point. You can't judge
You
errors.
could do a lot more on defense than you can today.
It's like people give Tom Brady shit because he played in where they couldn't touch the wide receiver, they couldn't touch the quarterback,
Mm-hmm.
and I agree with that in somewhat because I think Joe Montana got his ass kicked more than fucking Tom Brady ever did in his career.
I'd love to see Brady against the Montana 49ers or against the Bradshaw Steelers.
Yeah.
Or
I would love to see that
the
shit.
Staub Cowboys. Like
So,
I'd love to see like that stuff.
The point is moot because there are so many factors to determine the quote unquote great player that all you can do is evaluate them in their own time.
Which is why the Baseball Hall of Fame you only have a certain level like years of eligibility until you can't be reevaluated until later by the Veterans Committee.
Yeah.
Which I think that's
like
why
Major League Baseball, as far as
And Steve Garvey isn't in the Hall of Fame. Fuck you, Baseball Hall of Fame. Steve
I mean,
Garvey
I'm
in the Hall of Fame.
50,
That's why.
I'm 53 years
He
old.
does.
I got to see Michael Jordan play basketball, Wayne Gretzky play hockey, Pete Rose play baseball, and fucking what's
Mike Piazza play baseball.
Tom
and
Brady.
Tom Brady played football. I'm like, I mean, those are to me the four best ever at the sport.
Hey, or Hershiser.
It's always a Dodger with you, isn't
I'm
it?
a Dodger fan. What? I'm giving like one of the greatest World Series.
I mean, put
Series.
the controversy with the gambling behind. You
I
take that
haven't
away,
said
it's
anything.
Pete
I've
Rose
given
is the best baseball
Andy's
player
props
ever.
a lot.
Yes.
I haven't talked
As
shit about
long
the
as-
Astros.
as far as I'm concerned,
Where,
as long as Pete Rose is not in the Hall of Fame, then there should be no Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
anybody like going into the Hall of Fame, should say no, thank you.
He'll get in.
Put
He'll
Pete
get in.
Rose
Like I said, he'll get in when he dies. That would be his last punishment.
Just like all the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame people.
And another thing,
the greatest irony.
Hey, let Joseph go, Tim. Let Joseph go, man.
The greatest irony of all time is Pete Rose is currently being kept out of the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame presented by DraftKings Sportsbook.
Right, and he was the first person to pay a bet in Cincinnati. It was funny when it became legal. Yeah, how great is that? But he's a jerk and he's kind of an asshole. We met him a couple of times. Me and my sister walked up to him. He'd only signed one autograph. He used to play flag football. We used to watch him play. We come and talk to him. He would just shoo us away. I mean, he was an asshole. But you can't deny the stats, the guy. And that probably doesn't help him as well.
Dude, he took 2 teams to the World Series.
Yeah, I mean, on the field, the best that ever played the game. I'm sorry. I'm not saying to be biased.
And that's what it's supposed to be about, is what you do between the lines.
Right. Well,
sounds funny,
some integrity in the game.
The reason Pete Rose isn't in there because the fucking baseball commissioner had a vendetta against him.
But here's the thing: Pete Rose is not in the Hall of Fame because he bet on baseball.
Yeah, he bet on his own team. Now he came out.
Orlando Cepeda, who is a Hall of Famer, spent 5 years in prison for running drugs, but that's perfectly fine.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Ray Lewis.
There you go. Got away with murder.
Hey, fuck that. Hey, Scott Stein. Fuck the fucking Ravens. That was pass interference at the last fucking thing in the Super Bowl. And he knows it is. He won't fucking admit it. Crabtree got fucking hit.
Anyhow, Phil Collins.
Hey, that's what I'm getting to Jerry. I have to give Scott. Go ahead.
Andy has something to say.
Go ahead, Andy.
I just want to say one more thing. Tim is right. When we talk about the greatest of all times, we should do it by decades of the game of that time.
Yes.
The game, the best of the 60s, the best of the 70s, the best of the 80s. Because rules change, fitness changes, nutrition changes, just different outlooks of the game.
People change.
Dude, back in the days, though, these guys smoked cigarettes, drank fucking beer. Pitchers were all fat, and they still, great. I mean, Pete Rose was a big partier, man, drinker. There's some fucking stories about the Big Red Machine in their party days.
Look at Babe Ruth, not what you call an athletic physique.
No. And Mickey Mantle, that dude would party all night and then go play a double hitter the next day, all fucked up.
I mean, what was the guy's name that has like the record for drinks on a plane or whatever it is? Boggs.
Wade Boggs.
Wade Boggs.
Wade Boggs. He was like Boston, and he won a World Series with the Yankees. That fucking killed Boston, man.
Yeah, they weren't happy about that.
Like a 300 hitter like his whole career until he went back down until he went to Tampa Bay. Well, because he was older. But man, Wade Boggs was a motherfucker at the plate.
Yeah,
he wasn't.
I hear what you're saying about
Don Mattingly isn't in the Hall of Fame.
I can't say I'd want to be married to Wade Boggs, but he was a good player, great player.
Yeah.
No, I hear what you're saying about the decades. I mean, I don't think Pete Rose could catch up to 105 mile per hour fastball.
Well, you go by decades. Don Mattingly had a great decade. He should be in the Hall of Fame.
But I'm talking about. I mean, he played the game right. Even in the All-Star games back then, people gave Pete trouble, shit for running into that catcher. But they didn't make much money back then. They played for money in those All-Star games back then. You know what I mean? So yeah.
That wasn't a bonus. That was
exactly.
You want to talk about how I'm going to say this word so don't get offended? How fucking pussy sports is these days, and I'm going to the Dodgers, Andy, on this one. Fucking Mike Solskjaer played with a fucking broken leg behind the plate in the playoffs and the World Series.
Did you see the Orioles backup catcher 2 days ago?
Broken leg in the Super Bowl.
No.
Yeah, I saw that.
Orioles backup catcher James McCann in the first inning of a doubleheader got 95 mile an hour fastball to the face and played.
Came back and played. Yeah.
Well, that's fucking. You don't see that much these days.
It was all fractured
because
you got a little carpal tunnel.
It's because he knew it was literally the first inning of a doubleheader, and he knew they had to save Adley Rutschman for the second game, so he played all 9 innings of the first game and played 2 days later.
Damn.
But I wanted to say something about Mike Sosa, and I was going to say this earlier on the Sports Messenger we've got. Angels have been going down the tubes ever since they got rid of Mike Social.
Since they fucked him over. You know what they did to him? They signed Albert Pujols. They signed fucking Hamilton. They fucking signed these slow ass players. Mike Social's fucking thing was to get on first, steal second, or you get a single, you go from first to third. They took away all his fucking speed. They took away his fucking speed.
Yeah,
he couldn't do nothing. He didn't have no Eckstein anymore. He didn't have, he had all these fucking slow players at the end of their fucking careers.
He didn't have Higgins anymore. Man, they controlled that outfield back in the day with Salmon and them. Fuck, dude. Some badass teams. Yeah. But the Angels have been going down the tubes ever since.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they really gave Ron Washington a bad rap.
Yeah, that guy he's managing somewhere now, though, isn't he? He's still managing somewhere.
He's with the Angels.
He's with the Angels right now.
Yeah. Oh, he's still with them. Okay, I didn't think he was.
No, he just started this year.
I thought he was with the Rangers. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
You know, he's doing pretty. Juan Washington is getting in the Angels. They had a 7-game winning streak. He is a good manager. He's doing what he has. He got Trout out. No fucking Ohtani anymore. He's got a lot of injuries on that team, man.
I mean, I think I've only watched 2 games this year.
And I hate the fucking Angels, but I'm giving that guy credit.
So. He was
all right.
Let's get to what we're doing, Jerry.
We're going to do our top 11 Phil Collins Genesis songs. We're going to mix them together and see what we come up with. I'm going to tell you how I did my list, and then we'll go around real quick. You know, I pretty much love Phil and Genesis ballads. I have a lot of ballads on my list. So, you know, I think they do ballads really well. You know, I got into them 80s, MTV, all that shit, you know. But I have to say, and this is going to be unpopular, one of the most overrated songs in music history that everybody loves the drum fill on it. It's In the Air Tonight. I never liked that song, and I just think it's so overrated.
So I guess you weren't a Miami Vice fan.
No, well, yeah, I was. I mean, there's some shitty music on
it.
Dude,
but you put that music into what they're doing. That fucking made the show for me.
But they have Phil and Genesis a million fucking great songs. Don't get me wrong. I just never thought In the Air Tonight was. I don't know if it's the factor of being overplayed or what. I don't know. I just never cared for it.
I think it's the overplayed factor because
I like it, but it would never make a top anything.
If I never heard it again, I'd be fine. You know,
it isn't in my list either. Because I really thought some of you guys would pick it. It's on
my list either.
Yeah.
All right, Andy, which how'd you get into Phil and Genesis, man?
Okay, I'm sorry. Are we talking about Phil Collins or Phil Jackson? Are we still doing sports?
Phil Jackson, yeah.
Phil Jackson's greatest hits. No, the way that I did my list, I did 50-50. I did 6 Genesis and 6 well, I'll get to that later. But I'm going every other song is going to be either Genesis or Phil Collins. I got into them probably in the early 80s, watching those great videos on MTV, and I thought Phil Collins was great solo and with Genesis. He sang with so much emotion, especially when you're a teenager and you're starting to date girls and this and that. This guy really spoke to your heart. He really did. So I've always gravitated towards him, Phil Collins. And then the dude did so much in the 80s, producing, guest drumming, and production. And he's been at it since he was a little kid. You know, he's always been in show business since he was a kid. And now he went into music. He was a fantastic drummer with Genesis. And then he became their lead vocalist and really became the leader of that band.
It's a shame what age can do to you, though, man. I was watching videos of Phil's last tour. He looked really.
I saw that tour. He was out in a chair, and he sounded amazing. He sounded great. His vocals were on.
No,
top.
I hear you, man. But it's sad seeing him, this way. You know what I mean?
It was sad, but the thing is, he did come out and he got a little drum thing with his son. He was like doing a little drum thing in the middle. It was pretty cool, man. He had his vertebrae are fucked up because that guy pounded so fucking hard on those drums, man.
Yeah, his drum style was very like.
Nobody heard. He had his own drum style. Nobody sounded like him.
but also he could do some really, really like tight jazzy stuff. I mean, he did he did all kinds of like fusion stuff as well. Like he could do a ton of really underrated drummer in my opinion.
Even when you hear like Behind the Sun by Eric Clapton, you know that's Phil Collins on drums.
His drumming on Principle of Moments, Robert Plant's album is fucking awesome. I mean, for really good. Anyway, Joseph, man, what's your story on Genesis? Were you done, Andy? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
All right, Joe.
So I mean, as anyone who's listened to this or the Freeform Rock podcast for any length of time can tell you that I'm a huge Genesis fan. My list is definitely going to favor Genesis. Growing up, I mean, classic rock radio, Phil Collins and Genesis are everywhere on classic rock radio to this day. Yeah. And I knew all the hits and everything, but it wasn't until probably like 5 or 6 years ago that I really started to deep dive into Genesis, and they became one of my favorite bands. And so I am a huge Genesis fan, deep tracks and everything. With Phil's solo stuff, I'm much more of a hits guy. And so what I did, just because I don't know as much about his solo stuff, with my list, what I did was I picked one song from every Genesis album that he sang on, and that left room for 3 solo songs. And so I picked my 3 favorite Phil Collins solo songs. Those are going to be the first 3 on my list, and then I ranked my other songs in order. And so I'll get through that. And what I try to do, particularly with the Genesis songs, is maybe throw some love to a song that may not get as much credit on a specific album. Then like I'm not going to pick as much as I love like Land of Confusion or Abacab or Misunderstanding or something like that. I'm not going to pick those songs. I'm going to pick something different off those albums that I think might deserve a little bit.
I think I'm there with you most of this.
Cool.
Yeah. And I pretty much, I went for the hits just to show how prolific he was in popular music.
Hell, you could make a top 11 list of songs that he either played or wrote that he wasn't like the primary artist for. I mean, he produced There's Something Going On by Frida. He produced all kinds of stuff in the early 80s.
Philip Bailey, Eric Clapton.
Yeah. And you can tell when you hear it, like that's Phil Collins. Like you can tell. Yeah. And the amount of like stuff that he was doing in the 70s and 80s is just insane.
Not to mention fucking playing both U.S. and fucking England during Live Aid.
Yeah, he was the only musician to play both stages.
He went on the Concorde.
Yeah.
Remember how cool that was?
Yeah, all Tim, right, man.
I got introduced. I got introduced to Genesis in I would say mid 70s. That was a older brother album. Come home and who the hell is this? And and I've been following Genesis ever since. And then when Phil went solo, I followed him too. And to me, he's like one of my favorite pop artists. He's just, what I like about Phil Collins the most is he is an average, everyday guy.
Yeah.
He's not a rock star. He's an average.
Not very sexy. Yeah.
He's not one of those. He's not pretentious. He's not full of himself.
And he holds your attention.
And he has a sense of humor, and he proves it in his music. I love the fact that, and this is going to come out. Hold on, I'm trying to figure it out in my head. The lyrics that man writes they're not, he's never going to be considered an English literature master, but he's not a shithouse poet like Bon Scott was either. He writes lyrics that every man and most women, but the everyday person is feeling in their, at one point or another in their life.
Exactly.
But can't express it where he expresses it, and he makes it so that he makes his lyrics so that everybody understands it and everybody is like, yes, that's what I want to say in the song, and everybody's written down a Phil Collins lyric for something, tell your girlfriend I'm sorry, or I really like you, but he's able to make and I'm not going to say simplistic because they're not simplistic lyrics, but they're they're average, everyday, relatable lyrics for people. You don't need to go run and find an encyclopedia or a dictionary to what the hell is he talking about?
Right. Yeah.
Concise, and that's what I find the magic of Phil Collins.
Awesome. How about you, Mark?
Shit. I love fucking Phil Collins. We had a former co-host. He hates fucking Phil Collins. Fuck you, whoever you are. But I'm just gonna go. Phil Collins rules. I love him. You could in the 80s, it was either Phil Collins, Michael Jackson, or Madonna. You saw him with Genesis. You saw him with Solo. This guy was all over MTV. You saw him with Philip Bailey. Saw him with Marilyn Martin. You just saw him with every fucking buddy in the fucking 80s. He is the face of the 80s. Everybody says, oh, it's fucking Michael Jackson. It's Madonna. No, it's not Huey Lewis on the news, even though I love Huey Lewis on the news. It's fucking Phil Collins, the face of the 80s.
I'm glad we're doing Zeppelin at Live Aid.
Yeah. And they blamed him for the bad sound. The poor guy couldn't practice. Fuck you, Jimmy Page and Robert Plant. It wasn't his fault.
Yeah, I think he did the Atlantic 40th anniversary too, if I remember right. I think he did that one as well. Yeah.
All right, Jerry.
All right. So I got it written down. I have Tim going first, man. What's your number 11?
All right. The way I did this list is I just picked my favorite tracks from Genesis and my favorite tracks from Phil Solo, and then I combined them. So I don't know how many are Genesis and how many are Phil Collins, and that's just the way I did it. Anyway, my number 11 is from his Face Value album, released in 1981, I Missed Again.
Hey, good song.
Yeah, good song.
I forgot about that one. That fucking sucks.
Good pick.
Good pick.
Yeah.
All right, Joe. What's your number 11? Man?
Right. So like I said, my first three are going to be my three, as of this moment, favorite solo Phil Collins songs. And the first one I'm going to talk about is one that's a little bit out of left field for some of his classic kind of solo stuff. And it's one that I don't know if more people should know about it, or if they don't know about it. I think it's a really great track. But a lot of Phil Collins tracks, his solo stuff is like really good dance beat, like big horns, like that kind of stuff. Like that's kind of his signature kind of style.
R&B.
And a great example of that is the title
he's
track.
He's an artist that knows how to use horns.
Correct. Correct. And a lot of it's, and almost all of it's live. And so my number 11 is the title track to his 1997 album, Dance Into the Light. I think it's a great track. Really fun track.
I don't know it.
It's on his greatest hits albums.
It's a good album. It's a good song, man.
It's one of my favorite. It has a really great dance beat to it. He has a really good live version of it too from that tour.
The Paris one, right?
The Paris show, live in Paris.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah. Really great live version. He has a great band playing with him on that, and all the horns are there live doing it. And so that's one of my favorite. My third favorite Phil Collins song is "Dance Into the Light."
What's it called again? Dancing in the Light.
Dancing into the Light.
Dance.
Yeah, it's on this one. Yeah, it's on this one. So
yeah, I can see the album cover and everything.
Yeah, it's the orange one in the background of Mark's.
Orange with a dancer on it. Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah, the orange one right there. Yeah.
Mine's not orange.
No, the title track.
No, the
album it was on.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
No, actually, the one that you just held up, I have the 3-disc version of that. It's really good. I like the 2-disc version. The songs are all in weird order. The 3-disc version, it's chronological.
I love it when it's chronological.
Which I prefer. Which is why I went out of my way to get the 3-disc version because it's all chronological.
I thought about it, but it was like $10 more. I'm like, I'm not huge on them, so I'll just. Maybe in the future I might switch to that, but
now you're getting into them, so yeah.
But the thing is that I don't like when greatest hits are out of sync. I love it when it's in chronological order because you see the band grow.
Yeah,
you see the difference in what they're doing. I love it.
It's weird. It's weird. If I buy a greatest hits nowadays from a band, I want it in chronological order. But if it's like a greatest hits album that I grew up on, I like it in that order. So it's like the Eagles' greatest hits or Best of Kansas or any of those albums. I like that order. But like if I'm buying like Phil Collins or somebody else, like if
But
I'm
then
buying
the
like
Eagles
a
in
big
Kansas,
greatest,
you go fuck the greatest hits. Just listen to whole albums.
but like those are like, but I'm saying like greatest hits albums that I grew up on.
I know.
Right.
I'm just saying, but
Compared
then
to,
later
like, me
when
going
you
now.
grow up, you go, fuck. There's more than these greatest hits
Well,
albums.
yeah, but I'm saying, but like just specifically talking about greatest hits albums.
I know. That's a great way to get people in a good band. So also,
yeah. All right, Andy, you're next.
Yeah, I said that I was going to be talking about the hits, and that was going to be my list. Most of them were going to be hits. Well, I'm starting off with a deep track. I'm starting off on a deep track off of Abacab, Like It or Not. Love that song.
Good track.
It's one of those. It's one of those vile songs.
That, you guys are gonna make me buy all these fucking albums now.
Yeah.
These sound so sweet.
Even get the one without Phil Collins. That album's pretty good.
But the thing is that. But the thing is that this song, it's got that sound, it's got that great sound, but the words are vicious. And that's one thing about Phil. He will have the sweet sound with vicious lyrics.
Yeah.
And that is one of
I'll hold up my prop now. I'll hold up my prop.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I
Mine's
got
all
such a mess
packed. You
here.
can't
I wasn't
see it.
even going to bring anything out. But Abacab is a great album. Love it.
Yes.
All right, Mark.
I'm going to the album Duke, and Phil did redo this on his a solo album when he put more horns on it. But I hate
the version. I hate the version on the solo version of this song.
I agree with you. The Genesis version is the fucking version you go to, Behind the Lines. Like a great fucking song. It's like it's written in a book. Those drum lines. His drum lines on his solo album is not as hard as this one. Man.
You'll love this, Mark. The groove on that song.
Oh yeah, the groove is just so fucking good. I can see why he tried to turn it into an R&B song. It did have that feel, but nothing compares to the
groove.
version.
The groove during the verses, the drum groove during the verses. Ooh.
Yeah, that's my number 11, Behind the Lines from Duke.
All right, my number 11 is a song that I actually freaking hated for the longest time until the last decade or so. It's dark, it's ominous. I think it's fucking got a killer tone to it now. Off their fucking self-titled album, Mama.
Oh yes,
I fucking love that song.
Mama.
I can't see you, Mama. It's just a fucking. I don't know why I never liked
that
it.
Song may come up way later.
Oh, dude, it's
way later.
It's dark. It's dark. It's fucking. It's just.
I feel it's kind of low
sounding.
for that, Jerry. I just want to give you a little shit.
Well, he's new to it. He's
new. We get it. Yeah.
Hey, at least he likes it now. He said he used to be
number one. So. Hey, great.
All right, Jim, you're number 10, brother.
My number 10 is the song has already been mentioned, so I'm not going to spend any time on it. I think it's got a great drum fill myself, and I think it fits perfectly in the song. Off its Face Value album, In the Air Tonight.
It was mentioned earlier, but not mentioned well.
Like I said,
I like that song.
It's a song I like. Yeah,
it's a song I like.
But I only included 3 solo Phil songs, so like it wouldn't have made the top.
Gee, let me check if that one's on his greatest hits album.
I wonder. I really wonder.
All right, Joe, what's your number 10, man?
All right, so my number 10 is a great example of something that Phil Collins is very famous for, and that is movie soundtracks. And possibly my favorite song he ever did for a movie soundtrack, featuring probably my favorite vocal performance from Phil Collins, is the song Against All Odds.
Ah, great song.
Take a Look at Me Now. Oh my God. His vocals on that song are just so emotional. A great example of what Jerry said with him doing ballads.
That is a great
song. Man, that song just never did.
He went to both Live Aids and sang both those that song, both the Live Aids.
I mean, maybe because the movie sucked. I don't know, but
I've never seen the movie, so I wouldn't know to compare.
Dude, you got fucking, good movie.
Well, whatever.
It's a great song to me. So
great song. Oh yeah,
that's all that matters. Andy, you're up next, man.
Yeah, what I was going to say about In the Air Tonight, it's not on my list, unfortunately, but you always hear that story about the drowning guy. He didn't go and help him, and he feels guilty about it. But if you think about that song, of what it was intended to, that he was going through an ugly divorce, it was a song about two people falling out of love with each other and the hate towards each other. That if you think about it that way, that song is viciously beautiful. I love it. But my number 10, I'm going to start to get into the Phil Collins here. So this is one of his biggest hits off of one of his biggest albums, No Jacket Required, Studio. I love that song. I remember hearing that song when I was a kid.
That song was everywhere back in the day.
Yeah,
everywhere.
Everywhere. And I don't know what a studio is. I don't think it's.
He doesn't know what studio means.
I think he just made it up on the fly. I think
he just made it up as like doing vocal tones.
Yeah,
like that.
And
but that song back in the day was everywhere. Every club
the girl that's beyond.
You heard that at least once.
Yeah, and his vocals they're high. Mm-hmm. All the music is so upbeat. So yeah, studio number 10, man.
Cool. Mark.
All right. My number 10 is from But Seriously. It has Eric Clapton on guitar. I fucking love Wish It Would Rain Down. I wish it would rain down on me. And I'm not a huge Eric Clapton fan, but the guitar thing he does on that fucking album with Phil is so fucking like God.
I'm sure it's in the key of A minor, like all Clapton solos.
Yeah, but it fit his vocal tone. It fit the fucking song.
And the choir at the end. Oh my god!
Oh god,
so perfect.
Wish It Rain Down is my number 10 from But Seriously solo album.
Cool. All right, my next one is this is a really beautiful song. It's a sad song, I guess. I guess it's about the homeless, I guess. I don't know. But Another Day in Paradise. Absolutely fucking love that song, dude. It's beautiful. Track. The vocals are tender. The lyrics are fucking awesome. I mean, it's really sad. You know what I mean? You know,
you can picture that song in your head.
Exactly.
I think that was his last big album to that horrible Tarzan album.
Hey, I like that
You'll
song.
Be in my heart.
Oh God,
I like that song.
No, but Seriously was one of my favorites.
I got it on vinyl.
I got on vinyl too.
And a real sad video, if I remember, to that song too. But it was really cool tune. Loved it. Anyway, number 9, Tim.
All right, number 9 is a big hit of his. From No Jacket Required, released in '85. Take Me Home.
Great track.
Great track.
I love. I like I said before, Phil Collins is one of the few artists that I've heard, pop artists, that knows how to use horns. He knows where to put them, where not to put them, and how to use them. Yeah. And I think that every other band out there, except for Steely Dan, could take lessons from Phil Collins in how to use horns properly. And I'm not a big horn guy, but when it's Phil Collins, man, I'm all in. I'm all in.
Yeah. You don't put horns just because.
Yeah, just because there's a purpose. There's a purpose.
Yeah. And he knows how to do them.
And that's another thing Phil Collins gets zero credit for, is his arrangement ability.
Oh yeah. That's so true. He does.
Yeah, I'm sure pretty much all his arrangements are Phil. At least the majority of them are, I think. Yeah. I mean, I think those Tarzan movies, those are probably written by other people, right?
No, he wrote it.
Really? For soundtracks? Wow, usually soundtracks are usually
no, he wrote all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't think Elton John wrote those songs for The Lion King. I don't.
No, he did. He had co-writers.
With
co-writers.
He probably didn't have what's his face with them. Probably right.
No, he wrote all the music, but Tim Rice wrote the lyrics.
Yeah, gotcha. All right. So, Joe.
All right. So, my number 9 is my favorite solo Phil Collins song. We talked a little bit ago about In the Air Tonight, and that was on his first solo album. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of stripped down kind of song, very, very kind of opens kind of sounding with like really kind of like not too much instrumentation until the drum fill comes in. And it's a good song. I like the song. But I think he took that kind of style and did it way better on his second album, Hello, I Must Be Going. And that is my favorite solo Phil Collins song. And that is I Don't Care Anymore.
Oh, it's a good one.
It's a hit, but it's not like a huge hit. It's actually not on most of his greatest hits albums.
That's another one that can show up later on in my.
I don't care anymore. What you say?
No mo.
You know, I always thought the Dodgers, when Hideo Nomo pitched, they should have played that no mo.
Because they're never going to win the World Series. No mo.
Hey,
better
Reds.
chance than the fucking Reds. Yeah, I'm going to say better than the fucking
Reds.
Okay. Who the fuck am I talking about? Yeah.
But yeah, no, so right. that's my favorite solo Phil Collins song is I Don't Care Anymore.
Great song.
I don't care anymore. Oh man, that's a good song.
All right, Andy.
Yeah, I'm picking off of Abacab again. I didn't even notice it, but it's a great album.
I shall hold it up again.
Thank you so much. I didn't know.
Mine's all packed.
I'm going with Man on the Corner. What is waiting for? I don't know.
Another one that might show up later on.
Every day. And it's so cool. His vocal, it's like he's performing the song onto the record. And the way that he sings a lot of his songs, he's doing it passionately because he believes in every word he wrote. Mm-hmm. And that's why it's so good. So Man on the Corner by Genesis off of Abacab.
That's a great song, man.
All right, Mark.
All right. I'm going to go from Abacab. I love this fucking song. I like progressive fucking rock. I'm a Rush fan, man. Come on, man. Me and Sarah Jane.
Yeah.
I fucking love that song. It just goes all over the place. It goes
That's not a hit.
No, it's off. That's a Genesis song.
Oh, it's a fucking Genesis song, dude. Me and Sarah Jane off of Abacab. It's
one of my. I guarantee by the end of this, we're just going to list all of Abacab. So I'm just going to keep holding it up.
Yeah. Well, fucking Me and Sarah Jane is just fucking amazing song. It's just like so much drums, guitar, bass. It fucking just rules. I fucking love it. So that's my number 9.
No one has still picked the song off Abacab that I picked on my list yet. So
I think I'm done with Abacab.
I got a couple of them, so we're not done yet.
There we go. I still have my Abacab pick. Tim still has some Abacab picks.
I think that was my only Abacab pick.
I got Abacab picks.
All right, my turn.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to go with this next song off the self-titled album again. It was a huge hit. I love the video to it. That's probably why I picked this song. I love the piano riff. I love Mike Rutherford. That's right. He's a keyboard player, right?
No, Tony Banks.
No, Tony Banks. Excuse me, Tony Banks. Yeah.
Mike Rutherford's a guitar player.
Yeah,
bass guitar player.
Basically, yeah. Well, because
I will never give him credit as a guitarist ever.
But they did on the albums. They didn't say it was another guitar.
Well, no, he did play the guitars on the albums, but I will never give him credit as a guitarist because he was the bass player.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
he was the original guitarist. I can't keep Steve Hackett.
Steve Hackett.
Steve Hackett. And he ain't no Steve Hackett.
I agree with that.
Hackett. That's the reason they had to bring. That's the reason they had to bring Daryl Sturmer out live with them.
Yeah.
But I love the piano riff of the song.
He couldn't hold his balls.
This cool shuffle piano riff. I'm talking about That's All. I love that
great
fucking
song.
Oh yeah.
The same is just a shame. That's all.
That's all.
I can be wrong. You can be right.
Though my
Thought
heart
I was wrong when I thought I was.
Karaoke is always included.
Exactly, man.
Yeah,
that's a cool tune. Actually, I think that was the very first. I did own that on my very first Genesis album. I did own that on. Actually, I think I still do. Actually, I don't know.
It's a great fucking album, man.
It's a great album. Home by the Sea, great stuff on there.
Yeah, well, that might be coming.
All right, Tim, you're up next.
All right, my number 8 is already been taken, so I'm not going to waste time on it. But it's from Genesis, which I think is just an awesome album, start to finish. Mama, you got to go with Mama. I was going to go with Home by the Sea, but I didn't. I chose Mama.
Yeah, I love that song. I mean, I can't believe I never liked it at first, actually. I only bought that album for That's All because I love that song so much. As that's when I was a kid, and then just, yeah.
I think what I liked about that album the most is it's dark.
Yeah.
And it's this is Genesis, right?
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah. I mean, stuff like Silver Rainbow, Only a Job to Do.
but it's a
Great
dark
stuff.
album. It's
Illegal
like, wow,
Alien.
Yeah.
That song I could do without, but
It's pretty true.
it's
though.
no fun being boy. That song appropriate nowadays.
I'm just saying. A lot of Genesis songs
Yeah,
are appropriate.
it
these
is.
days.
It is no fun being illegal alien.
It's no fun.
I wouldn't know.
All right, Joe, you're up. Joe, you're up next, man.
All right, so we have now reached the point in my list where I begin ranking my favorite song, or for the purposes of this list, not necessarily my favorite song, but the song I want to feature off each Genesis album.
Nice.
And so I'm going to begin with the song that I think perfectly closes out the Steve Hackett era of Genesis, and that is from the Wind and Wuthering album, Afterglow.
That's a good one.
What a beautiful ballad Afterglow is. And
Is that the
one
album we reviewed?
no, we
reviewed?
reviewed Trick of the Tail.
That's right.
This is the one after that. This is the second album he sang on. Of course, they play it live for a long time. They would include it in the Cage medley live for years after this album came out. They would do In the Cage, another snippet of some song, In That Quiet Earth, and then Afterglow. Pretty much the whole way through till the late 80s, they would do this song. Really beautiful track. What a great way to close out the Steve Hackett era of Genesis. It was the last song on the last album that he played on. And it's an absolutely beautiful song, Afterglow, from the Wind and Wuthering album.
Yes, but did he know that was going to be his last track with Genesis?
No.
So
he just up and
when they made it, it was just happenstance.
But it's happenstance. It's a perfect way to close it out. Yeah.
All right, Andy.
Yeah, I'm going back to Phil. This is a later single, and I love it. Just the way that it starts. I Can't Stop Loving You. So he starts off with, so you're leaving in the morning on the early train. And I like that line that says, you got your goodbye smile. I love that line.
Yeah. I'm a romantic. I'm a romantic. I sing that song to my wife sometimes.
Like I said, Philcollins was the average man's poet.
Yeah.
And he just had a way of he had a way of making it, and I hate that word simple, and I don't want to say simple, but everybody understandable.
You understood every word. You're right, Tim. He understood everything.
He made everybody understand what he was trying to say in the song. That's what I love about it. It's like, Jesus, I thought about that, or that's the way. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Mark.
So I'm going to the self-titled album, but I consider this one song. You got Home by the Sea and Second Home by the Sea. It's fucking my number 8, like one of the greatest fucking prog fucking songs of all time. It's just fucking amazing. His vocals, the drums, the instrumentation on this song, it's just so fucking perfect. You can't discount this song. This song fucking rules. Mm-hmm. Everybody gives this album a shit ton because of fucking That's All, because it was a pop song. Listen to the fucking whole album, bitches. It's fucking more prog than pop.
No, I give it shit because of Illegal Alien. I don't care for that song, but other than that, that album is fantastic.
So Home by the Sea, Second Home by the Sea, my number 8.
All right, my number 8 is song that's pretty meaningful today, man. There's too many men, too many people, making too many problems.
Not much love to go around.
Superman, where are you now?
Hey, Disturbed wrote that song, right?
No.
Yeah.
They also wrote Shout by Tears for Fears.
Yeah, they did that song too, right? They wrote that song. Right?
Yeah, that was a cool tune. I remember blasting that a lot in the 80s, man. I thought it was a cool tune. And that is Genesis, right?
Yeah.
Just to be clear, okay.
The Invisible Touch.
Yeah.
Gotcha. A cool tune, man. I love the lyrics behind it again, man. We've hit on it before. Phil's a master for. He does write the lyrics, I assume, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so he's a masterful fucking lyricist, man. And this song is just like the whole fucking. It's a great story. You can visualize, I say this quite often. You visualize what he's talking about in his music. So,
And the video with the puppets.
yeah, the video with the creepy puppets, Ronald Reagan drowning in bed,
Ronald Reagan and
Ronald
the
Reagan,
chimpanzee,
sort of heavy thing.
themselves.
Yeah. That was kind of a creepy video, but other than that, it's a good tune. But that's my number 8. What's your number 7, Tim?
Hey man, I just wanted to say, before you start, Disturb really does know how to fuck some shit up.
I do like that band, but I don't like the covers. I don't like the covers.
Just shitty.
Van Halen's the only band that could do covers. There you go.
My number 7 again has already been picked from No Jacket Required, released in '85. Sussudio. I think that's a great track. I think No Jacket Required was his monster album as far as I know.
One More Night.
I mean, that was just played every day, everywhere, at every time. And I never got tired of it.
Yeah.
I never got tired of it. So yeah, Sussudio, my number 7.
Cool. All right, Joe.
All right. So my number 7, let me just check real quick and make sure I'm missing a couple CDs. Yep, okay. So I will get to my pick from Abacab, showing it once again. And that is the part of what was supposed to be a suite of songs on this album, a couple of which will end up being cut from the album, and they're on like some B-sides and stuff. But that is the really weird song, Dodo/Lurker.
Oh, that's a good song.
Really cool, really proggy tone. Yeah, it's a deep cut. They did it's on the 3 Sides Live album.
Yeah, just don't listen to Who Done It.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that. The rest of the album's great except for Who Done It. Yeah.
It's kind of like Illegal Alien on the self-titled album. It's
But I like that song better than Who Done It.
Oh, definitely. At least Illegal Alien doesn't have Phil doing a weird accent.
We talked about weird accents on another episode. But
I hate when Phil does a weird accent.
Yeah.
And he does it a couple times. But so Dodo/Lurker off of Abacab.
That's a great
number
song,
7.
man.
Great kind of proggy song with weird lyrics, but really cool track. So that's my number 7.
Hey, Justin, can you hold that back up, please?
Go ahead.
No Reply at All. I love No Reply at All.
Great
track. That's a good song. That's a good
song. Yeah.
Anybody listening?
Another great use of horns.
Oh, dude. There's so much emotion that goes on in that song, He's looking for a way out with all the exits sealed. Oh my God, what a line. Oh, or maybe I'm just lying to myself. It's just, it's like he's alone, and it ends with, is anybody listening? And it's got that great upbeat music, but the lyrics are so desolate. My God.
And
so,
a little fun fact about that song is the horn section that is playing on that song is the Earth, Wind, and Fire horns. And I'll be seeing Earth, Wind, and Fire live tomorrow night.
Nice.
That's awesome. But, dude, those horns, again, like Tim was saying, put them in the right spot. Is anybody listening? With the drum.
If you know how to use horns, it makes the song. If you don't know how to use horns, it kills the song.
Yep.
And then when the song slows down, and it's just his vocals, it's got a very small echo to them. Just produced beautifully. So yeah, that one. No Reply at All. There's No Reply at All.
All right, Mark. That's a good song, Andy. I wish I would have known that. It definitely would have made my list, but it didn't. I do like that song.
I did have Land of Confusion at this point, but
I got a bunch of songs that didn't make my list.
But I kind of switched it up because
that could still be put on a greatest hits track, or album.
I hate the band Ghost, and I hate this cover of this song. I love Jesus, He Knows Me. I fucking love the Phil Collins version of it. It has more soul.
I prefer the
Papa
Ghost version.
Fucking Emeritus or whatever the fucking Papa that guy is. He does not have the Phil Collins soul to fucking pull this song off. Jesus, He Loves Me. I love that fucking song. He does not have the Phil Collins fucking soul.
Yeah, and I think it's supposed to be a soulless song. It's about cash preachers.
Mhm.
But
It's
Phil
supposed to be
did
a
it
soulless
better.
song.
Phil did it better.
I don't think
It's
he did.
Okay. Well, for another discussion for another day.
We've already talked about that several times, and I'm on Team Mark on that easily.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, you chose poorly.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I have
Fuck,
the dark
fuck you.
side.
I just watched The Last Crusade the other day. That
Nice.
night. You chose
Uh,
poorly. All right, my turn. What do I got here? Oh yeah, another cool little tender ballad that he, like I said, does very well. One More Night. Fucking what a beautiful tune that is, man. I mean,
I can't wait forever.
again, it's just the emotion he puts in his ballads are just incredible in my opinion. It's beautifully written. It's a fucking great fucking song. I don't know what else to say except I couldn't tell you what album it's on, but it's a fucking great tune. One More Night. Tim, number 7. 6.
My number 7 track, or
Number 6.
6.
My number 6 track is the first track and the only track off of Hello, I Must Be Going, for me, released in 82. I Don't Care Anymore. I just think that track is, everybody has had a relationship where they thought about these lyrics, where it's just, I don't give a fuck anymore. I could care less. Go do what you want to go do. I don't care. And that's why I say he's every man's lyricist.
Yeah.
Jerry, you'll have to buy the 3-disc version.
Oh shit, Groovy Kind of Love. I forgot about that song too. I love that song.
Buster.
And that's such a man. I don't care no more what you say, man. Dude, that's vicious.
Yeah. I Don't
he
Care Anymore is
sounds-
not on the 2-disc version of that CD, Jerry.
And he sounds so pissed off when he's singing it.
Yeah.
You know, like I've had it. That's it. We're done. And it's like, yeah. You know, how many times have you fought with your ex or current or whatever, and it's like, I've had it. I'm up to here. I know. And
I'm all right by myself.
He just delivers it. He just delivers it.
And those keyboards right there in that part when it breaks down. Woo-hoo.
So let me go off kilter here for a second. We all heard Mike and the Mechanics, right?
Yes.
Now Mike Rutherford played guitar on that one, correct?
Yeah. Not really.
Yeah. Not really.
That was basically a 3-piece as well, right?
There was really no leads in that.
5.
There's 5.
five.
Was there really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a big band.
Yeah.
No, I love some of the song, the fucking Father's Eyes. I love that fucking song.
The Living Years.
Living Years.
Living Years. Yeah, great fucking tune.
And
Love
that's
that.
Silent Running was the best song they ever did.
Oh, Silent Running is a great
All
track.
Carrick was
All I need is a miracle.
That was
All
a
I
good one, but
need
Silent Running is like the best song ever by them. To me.
And I think they only made 2 albums, if I'm correct. I think it was only 2.
No, they made like
Oh no, they
4.
made like 8 or 9.
8 or 9, yeah.
Oh really? Oh
Yeah,
wow.
but the one guy saying all you need is a miracle, like died.
Yeah. They've had 9 albums.
Really?
Wow. I fell off the Mike and Mechanic train big time.
And they're currently a 6-piece band, actually.
Oh, so they're still active. Okay.
Yeah. But Mike Rutherford is the only member still in it.
Yeah, okay.
Paul Carrick's not in it. Paul Young's dead. The drummer isn't in it anymore, and the keyboard player isn't in it anymore.
I think we were talking to Black Spinner the other day that Paul Carrick is with the Tubes still.
Really?
Is he?
He's still touring with the Tubes, I think.
Dang, he was great in
Wable?
Squeeze too. Tempted. Great.
All right. What are we about? Joe's turn?
Yes.
All right.
No, wait, I get the Squeeze and the Tubes backwards. I've always done that.
He's Squeezed then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's with
Squeeze.
Squeeze.
Okay.
Yeah.
there
Squeeze
you
the
go.
tube. That's what you do with the toothpaste.
Talk about a song that I always thought was by Bad Company. Jeez. Tempted.
Tempted, yeah.
It sounds like Paul Rogers.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
I hate that fucking song.
I love this song.
That's a great track. I love it.
I hate
love
that
it
fucking
too.
song. Tempted by the fruit of another.
Jerry, move on. Okay.
Anyway, my number
All right.
6. My number 6. I had a little bit of trouble picking a song off this album because overall I hate the album. It's an awful album. It's the album that Mark just picked a song from. And I hate Genesis's version of Jesus He Knows Me. I think the music video is stupid. And but there are a few songs I like off that album. One is a hit, two of them are not. The two songs that are not hits that I really like off that album are Driving the Last Spike,
great song,
and Fading Lights. Those are the two non-hits I like off that album. But my favorite song off that album is the song that opens the album, and that is No Son of Mine.
Great song.
Beautiful track with really powerful lyrics. It's devastating lyrics.
It makes me cry every time I hear that song.
Yeah,
it does.
Devastating lyrics, and Phil's vocals are great on it.
Yeah, I got it.
And it's a beautiful song, but a devastating song. And every time I listen to it, it's just one of those powerful tracks.
The first time I heard that song, I really thought he was writing about me. It was
What'd you pick? I'm sorry. What'd you pick?
No Son of Mine.
Okay.
No
Sorry, my wife was talking to me. Another okay song. Andy.
Yeah, me. What number are we on anyway?
Number 6.
Number 6. Oh, this is going to be off of, I think it's off of No Jacket Required, I think. Y'all check on that. But Take Me Home.
Yeah.
Yep.
Again, songs that just eat at you when I was an adolescent or a teenager. Just, just a great track. Take Me Home, because I don't remember. It's just, I've been a victim all my life. And then he's just stepping out of it. It's just great.
Yep.
So Take Me Home, number 6.
All right, Mark.
My number 6 is Silver Rainbow from self-titled Genesis album. I love that fucking song. The fucking Beyond the Silver Rainbow. Those electronic drums that Phil is hitting just sounds so fucking. He's hitting those drums, so he's playing them. Mm-hmm. Fucking amazing song. Silver Rainbow is my number 6.
Did he play on his solo albums too? Solo and Genesis, his drums.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And about 50 other people's albums.
Right. Oh yeah.
All right. Our number 6, I'm just kidding, Joe. I actually fucking agree with you. I like No Son of Mine. That's a great fucking track, dude. Fucking deep as fuck, dude. I mean, he really gets to the heart in that one. I mean, I didn't really know my dad till I was like 20, I guess. He left early. I mean, so I don't know about how that affected. I had an asshole stepfather, but yeah, I can see how I see how it resonates.
Me too.
I mean, he had 3 stepbrothers. Of course, I was the strange one of the bunch. So yeah, he was kind of a jackass. But people were asking me why didn't I cry at his funeral. I'm like, well, he's a fucking asshole. That's why. You should be lucky I'm even here. But
I remember my stepdad would tell me, "Why don't you take your stepbrother to go hang out with you and your friends?" I was like, "I don't know why I'm hanging out with me. Why am I going to bring around my friends for?"
I remember one day I was about 7 or 8 years old. My stepbrother's laying. Now you lay on the the floor like with your head on your arm. I don't know what the reason was. My stepdad just walked in and just fucked. He was a big dude. He was in Japan. He was a Marine. I mean, and just fucking kicked him right in the fucking nuts as hard as he could, dude. Ooh. I'm surprised. It was just that's the kind of asshole this guy was, man. I mean, so. I'm getting fucking. I don't mean to get depressed here, but still, yeah, I had some fucking bad growing up times, you can say. So,
yeah, me too.
I think we all have, though, right? Yeah.
But we're here. Life's good.
That's right.
It's better.
Exactly.
And we're talking about music, which is fun. So,
but music was always what I ran to. Always.
Yeah, me too.
Always.
Yep.
It always made me feel so good.
Yep. All right, we're on number 5 now, Tim.
My number 5 track hasn't been mentioned yet, which astonishes me. But from their 1987 album Invisible Touch. Tonight.
Great song. Oh, gonna make it right.
I still remember the beer commercial that it was.
Yeah,
Miller Junior Draft.
Miller Lite.
shitty ass beer, but it's a good tune.
Yeah, that beer's.
Don't tell that Eddie kind of stretchy.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how he drinks that.
That man loves his MGD. I'll tell you what.
Yeah. Man,
Hey,
Miller.
more power to you. Hey, I get ripped off for like a Michelob Ultra, so I understand.
Hey,
what he's going through,
it's like people that go out of their way to drink Coors Banquet.
Ew.
right.
Oh, because of like fucking Johnny.
Yeah.
And Bush. I don't know how the fuck people drink Bush beer. Now they have peach Bush. I'm like, fuck.
Okay. Here's my thing. Apparently, the Bush peach is all about it. Everyone loved the Bush apple, and they got rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
I don't know. Mark's a fruity beer guy, so I don't.
Oh, fuck you. Fucking Mr.
Yeah, well, Jerry, you're
White
the White Claw guy. So.
One fucking White Claw in my life. I never.
I
really
just
fucking
remember the
knew.
saying back in the day was about Coors. His saying was, "Fuck your mountains, give me Bush."
Hey, I'm a Yingling guy. I'm classier than all of you.
Yeah, my stepson fucking loves England, man. I think it's favorite.
Right now I'm on a St. Arnold kick, so because right now I've just been drinking Houston brewed beers right now for the past few years now.
I'm actually trying to cut down on alcohol. I don't drink that much as I used to, but
I might drink a 6-pack in a month. That's about
I'm
what I'm doing.
I'm thinking about pulling out tomorrow for our show when we record. You know, I feel like raising some hell on the show tomorrow night, so maybe I'll drink.
Yeah, nice.
Most of the time when I drink beers because I'm out with someone or we went out to a brewery to try, flights and stuff like that. That's when I usually drink beer.
I think we're on Joe now, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so I'm gonna hold this album up here. This album. And then there were 3. We talked about one of the songs in this on a show we did a little bit ago about album openers, underrated album openers. I hate this album. This album sucks. I didn't pick anything off of it. So I'm going to move it over here. Instead of picking something off that awful album, what I did was I picked a song from an EP that came out between Wind and Wuthering and that album, a song that nobody ever talks about, and I think it is an amazing song. It's a song that Steve Hackett has gone on record saying he wishes it was on Wind and Wuthering because it's better than half of the stuff on Wind and Wuthering, and he still plays it live every now and then. And it's a song called Inside and Out off the Spot the Pigeon EP that came out in '77. It's actually on the right by Mark's elbow, the silver cover of the Greatest Hits album, the tour edition of the Turn It On Again Greatest Hits album, right there. It's actually on that, and it's the only way you can get it on CD, I think, is on that, is the tour edition of the Greatest Hits. But it's a really great song. The lyrics are about a guy that was falsely imprisoned and gets out of jail, and it's a really cool, like, harmonies and stuff in the first half. And then in the second half, it's just this blistering instrumental with all these keyboards going nuts. And it's a great track. If you've not heard this song, I 100% recommend it. It's called Inside and Out. And it is a kind of a deep track. It was on the, like I said, it was on the Spot the Pigeon EP. It's only available on the Archive box set and on that Turn It On Again, the Hits Tour Edition. That's the only place you can get it on CD, but it is on Spotify and everything. So if anyone uses Spotify or anything like that. So
yeah, I do not use Spotify.
It's on YouTube if you want to look it up.
Pick anything off from it.
All right, Andy.
Yeah, my next pick, and this is going to be the first live one that I'm going to pick, and it's going to be off of The Way That We Walk, the shorts.
Oh, good.
And it's going to be the live version of Throwing It All Away. I love the live version.
I will fight you on this one. I'll fight you on this one, Andy. I don't like the way they did it live because they dropped the tuning because Phil couldn't hit the notes anymore. I'll fight you on that.
Oh, but I like the way that he does the call and response with the crowd.
Oh, I love that part.
I love that part.
Oh, so what I would recommend is there is a audio. So the only time they ever did Throwing It All Away in the original key was on the first leg of the Invisible Touch tour. By the second leg with like the Wembley show and that stuff,
it
was already they already dropped the key because of his voice.
Right.
But if you listen to some bootlegs, I believe it was a LA show from the Invisible Touch where they did like 4 nights in LA, and there's really it's like basically like almost like official level audio on YouTube, and they do Throwing It All Away with the call and response stuff, but in the original key. And
okay.
Amazing.
It's okay, well, I've never heard that version, so
I definitely recommend checking it out. It's amazing.
Because dude, that version on the shorts, dude, it gets me so hyped when I'm listening to it. Just with the crowd and it probably is with me because it sounds like a huge crowd.
Yeah.
They're all there with them and they're singing with them. So I'm gonna go with Throwing It All Away.
Doing the D-da-day.
Awesome.
D-da-day. Love that.
Yeah. All right, Mark.
Hey guys, I'll be right back.
My number 5, right? Easy Lover, Phil Collins and Philip Bailey. I love that fucking song. I remember watching that. She's an easy lover. She'll break your heart and you'll believe. I just like the way they fucking.
She's like no other.
Yeah, I love that song. Easy Lover. So that's my number 5.
All right. My next one is, I think Mark mentioned this one earlier. I Wish It Would Rain Down with Eric Clapton in it. I don't think it's written in F, actually. I don't think it's actually A minor. So good for Eric Clapton for playing something other than A minor. Yeah, cool tune, man. It's got that Phil Collins emotion in a ballady type of tune. And Clapton's guitar complements it perfectly. Another fucking brilliant song. What album is that song off of?
Philip Bailey.
It's off of Chinese Wall.
Chinese Wall.
I Wish It Would Rain Down. Okay.
Oh no, Wish It Would Rain Down.
No.
But seriously,
no, yeah. Easy Lover is on Chinese Wall.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fuck that song. But yeah, I Wish It Would Rain Down is a fucking great fucking tune, man. I love that song. Actually, I don't hate that song. I just don't think it's one of the better songs from him. But all right, let's go number 4, Tim.
Oh, number 4 for me has already been mentioned, but I love the track. I just love the track. It's so dark. Oh God, I love that track. From Abacab, written in '83, Man on the Corner.
I don't know that one actually.
You don't know
it's a deep track. It's a deep track.
They had a video for it though.
Did they really?
Yeah, it was
see the lonely man there on the corner. What he's waiting for? I don't know.
Buddy, wait.
They have a video. They have a video of that Man on the Corner. Look it up on YouTube. There's a video for it.
I might have to.
It's kind of a live version of it. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Man on the Corner or Lonely Man on the Corner, but
it's just Man on the Corner.
Yeah, they have a video for that. I saw that on MTV back in the day a lot.
Interesting.
Oh, okay.
It's just a great tune. I mean, it's dark. The lyrics are just awesome. Again, best thing on Abacab, as far as I'm concerned. Well, not best thing. I can't say that, but close, very close.
All right, Joe.
All right. So my number 4 is the song that started it all for the Phil Collins era of Genesis, off the Trick of the Tail album, Dance on a Volcano.
Oh yeah.
Right from the beginning with the bum 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 ba-da-da-da-dum. I mean, what a way to kick off the Phil Collins era of Genesis right there. I mean, the first time I ever heard this album, I put the CD in, I was like, whoa, what is this? And it has become one of my absolute favorite Genesis tracks. Steve Hackett always still pulls it out live, and they do a phenomenal version of it. And it's a really, really great track. So Dance on a Volcano off of Trick of the Tail.
I can't remember if I like that album or not. I can't remember. Did I?
We did a review of it.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I can't remember.
I think you like some of the stuff. I can't remember what all you liked. What you did.
Charles hated it.
Yeah.
There you go.
But he did like Los Endos, so.
Oh, he did like Los Endos, yeah.
All right, Andy.
Yeah, I went and grabbed me a beer because I wanted some. Check this out. If you can look, there's a record on it. He's spinning records on the thing. It's an 8.4%.
I like IPA.
All you need is one.
Yeah. You don't fuck around with these. You just have one and you're great for the rest of the night.
Yeah, our former co-host knows about that.
But my number
He's
4.
getting a lot of shit tonight, which is well deserved. But go ahead.
My number 4 off of But Seriously album. This is another great song where he puts the horns in there. Perfect timing. Something happened on the way to heaven.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a great song.
I love that song.
How many times can I say I'm sorry?
With the dog in the video.
I put the last night I put the first verse down on Freeform, put the homepage. I just think it's a great song.
Yeah, that's my number 4.
Cool. All right, Mark.
I'm gonna go. My number 4 is The Last Domino. I fucking love this song off Invisible Touch. It's one of my favorites. It's like progressive fucking people always go throwing it all away, Invisible Touch. There's a lot of prog on that album. A lot of fucking prog on that. Because The Last Domino proves that fucking they didn't shy away from the prog. They did have the hits, but they had the prog on there, and I like how the way they mixed it up. I love that album. Last Domino.
That's not the title of the song, Mark.
What is it?
It's just Domino.
Domino. But they had Domino, Last Domino, right?
That was the name of the tour.
Oh, whatever. Domino. I love Domino.
But like tonight can also be proggy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it is very proggy.
The Brazilian.
Yep.
All right, my turn?
Yep.
All right, my next one, another fucking brilliant song in my opinion, man. So take me home, because I don't remember. I also love how it builds up to that chorus where he's going, I don't mind, and it goes into that part. It's fucking brilliant writing, in my opinion. Man, the structure of the song again is just fucking amazing. I'm surprised I'm not a mega Genesis Phil Collins fan. I really am. But I'm getting there though.
I think the more you listen, the more you'll really dig it.
Oh yeah.
I mean that was one good thing about Phil Collins and Genesis. You automatically know like 20 songs off that, you know what I mean? If not more. So you got a good start, with them. So
yeah.
But anyway, I fucking love that song. Take Me Home is my number 4. Let's go for number 3, Tim.
All right, my number 3 is from the album that Joe just said he hated. Then there were 3 released in 78. This is one of the songs that I first heard from Genesis and was like, who are these guys? Follow You, Follow Me.
I do know that one, I think.
That's a good
love
one.
that song. I absolutely love that song. But I didn't. It was funnier if I just didn't include the album on my list, but I do love that song.
Well, 3 Sides Live, I think has the better version of it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. The live version.
Dude, 3 Sides Live, the Abacab version of 3 Sides Live.
God,
my
so
God,
good.
dude.
Yeah.
All right, so Joe.
All right. So for all of you people out there who have no clue or have not listened to these albums, and says, well, Genesis wasn't prog in the 80s. Bullshit. I have one word for you, and that one word is domino. I mean, it is insanely prog.
And they even got Gene Simmons to sing it.
Exactly. Exactly. Let me tell you my story.
I got a man-sized predicament.
And it's a big one. And it goes like this.
I don't know. You shouldn't say big one because I saw it's Plastercaster. It's not really. He doesn't have a big one.
Whoops. But
I read the story about that book. That's how I know the girls that did that. That's how I know about it.
Yes. So Domino, in the glow of the night, off of Invisible Touch, amazing track. I mean, Phil has great vocals on this one. Now see what you've gone and done. I mean, great. Just the little movements and stuff, the really kind of slow beginning, and he has some really great vocals on that. And then the really kind of creepy
and darkness.
Yeah, I mean the creepy part in the middle, and then and now I never did see such a terrible thing. That whole part at the
last
end.
night on the TV.
I mean, it's just a great track. Some really weird, dark lyrics on this about children playing with bones and all this stuff. It's basically about nuclear waste and all. It's like about like nuclear warfare and all this stuff about the last domino falling and everything. But it's a great track, and basically for anyone who doesn't think Genesis was prog in the 80s, listen to this song and shut up.
Yep, exactly.
All right. Mark?
Andy,
Excuse me. Sorry, Andy. I had my first fuck up. That's not too bad.
No, dude, you're doing pretty good today. Way to go. Again, on Invisible Touch, this will show you how much range Invisible Touch had. We've had Joseph with Domino. We've had Mark also pick the song. I'm going to go with In Too Deep, a great ballad,
beautiful track,
beautiful ballad,
great tune.
And I think he is one of the best ballad writers out there, and I love it. So I'm going to go with
alternative. My alternative list.
Cool. You know, I've never seen that before.
The movie?
Yeah.
It's the movie where they make where he plays Hip to Be Square by Huey Lewis and kills the guy.
Yeah. I was sure y'all talked about that, but I've never seen it.
And there's also a scene later where he murders 2 women while listening to In Too Deep.
well, that song doesn't get you in the mood for murder
with a chainsaw.
Wow. So my number 3 is In Too Deep.
All right, Mark, number 3, dude.
Number 3, I'm going off No Jacket Required with Long, Long Way to Go. I love that fucking song. It's so fucking like moody and ominous. It's just like so dark. I love the way his vocalizations on that song fucking rules. So Long, Long Way to Go.
My number 3, I think Joe mentioned it. Of course, I said I sing it to my wife all the time because it's a fucking beautiful song. I can't stop loving you. Why
Andy.
should I? Was
that
Andy?
Was me.
Okay, whoever it was. Yeah, beautiful fucking tune. Love my wife. That's like the song I sing to her a lot. One of them. I made a mistake one time. I didn't know really what the song "Beautiful" from Christina Aguilera was about at first. I just thought she was thinking about a beautiful girl, but I found out when I read the lyrics, I was like, no, that's not a song you sing to your fucking wife. But I think I said "Love the One You're With" too, accidentally one time. It's like,
that's not good.
You're forced to.
Yeah, hey, you know, if you can't be with the one you love,
you got no choice.
They just come in your head and they come out, and it's like, oh shit, I didn't really mean that.
Best song that Steven Stills ever played on.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, man, like I said, I got no problem with admitting that I love my wife, man. So that's my number 3.
It's weird because I love Neil Young, but I hate Crosby, Stills and Nash.
The only 2 songs that I like that Steven Stills ever performed on were that song and Southern Cross.
I love Southern Cross. That's a fucking great tune. Yeah, I think he commented on my post about that one time when I put that song up. Yeah, great fucking tune. Yeah. Anyway, where we at? Number 3 or 2? Tim.
Number 2 for me is a song or a track that was never released as a single, and nobody fucking knows about it as far as I can tell, but it's from a Monster album or one of his Monster albums, and it should have been released as a single, and I think it was made to be released as a single, but it just wasn't. Lyrics are just awesome. From No Jacket Required, Inside Out.
Great song.
Oh yeah.
Inside Out. Yeah, you got me inside out.
That wasn't released as a single. I thought it was.
Nope.
Huh.
Because I was waiting for it, you know, and I'm like, this is like the best song on the album. What are you doing, you know? But
yeah,
they didn't.
Yeah, it's a great track.
Cool. All right, Joe.
All right. So my number 2 is a song. I don't have the CD or I'd hold it up, but it is a song that has been mentioned by practically everybody on this panel here, and that is the insanely cool, insanely creepy opening track off of the 1983 self-titled album, and that is Mama.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the greatest openers to a concert you'll ever see is the is the 1987 Live at Wembley show when they come out and all this Tony Banks just walks out onto the stage and presses the button and it's the and then they all just walk out on the stage and Phil starts singing it. And it's so cool. And it's a great way to open a concert. Then the whole band just kicks in with Chester Thompson on drums, which we gotta kind of speak to that because it's such an important part of the Phil Collins era of Genesis is the touring band with Daryl Sturmer on guitar and then playing the bass for like the one song that Mike Rutherford decides he wants to play a guitar on stage. He'll play Daryl Sturmer plays the bass. And then just the absolutely amazing Chester Thompson on drums, who was in mainly people know him from being in Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention.
Did Sklar play with Genesis or just Phil Collins? Just Phil?
Just Phil Collins. Yeah. No, it was Daryl Sturmer and Chester Thompson were the only ones in the classic period. Then they brought some more in throughout the Ray Wilson years, and then the Chester and Daryl were both with him on the 07 tour, and then Chester wasn't brought back for the last Domino tour. It was his son Nick. But yeah, throughout the entirety, Bill Bruford was actually on the Trick of the Tail tour as the drummer. So the first tour they did with Phil as the singer was Bill Bruford from Yes and King Crimson as the drummer. But then after that tour, they switched over to Chester Thompson on the Wind and Wuthering tour. Then they brought Daryl Sturmer on board and then there were 3 tour, and then they kept that solid lineup of 5 all the way through the We Can't Dance tour. They're on the cover of The Way We Walk. It's the 5 of them on the cover there. So it was that solid group of musicians for pretty much the entirety of the Phil Collins era, and I think they do an amazing job. And of course, a big part of all those live shows is when Chester and Phil would do their drum duet, whether it be as part of a medley or as just kind of a big thing right before the end of the show. But they'd always do a big drum duet. It was a really cool part of all their live shows.
And it's so cool that they put all 5 on there, because a lot of bands do not include half of the band that's playing on stage with them.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool.
All right, so Andy, number 2, man.
Yeah, my number 2 is going to be off of, but seriously, I got it right here. It's a great ballad. Do You Remember? I love that song. I think it's fantastic. We never talk about it, but I hear the blame is mine. And
I know
I
that
call
song.
you up and say I'm sorry, but I wouldn't want to waste your time. So yeah, Do You Remember? Great track, man. Great track.
All right, Mark.
For 2, we already talked about Dance on the Volcano. Love that fucking album. Love that song. So Dance on the Volcano is my number 2.
My number 2 is, I think, a better drumming song than In the Air Tonight. We talked about it earlier. I Don't Care Anymore. I think the drumming is awesome in that song. I love the fucking the way he sings it. I love the ending, of course. No mo, no mo, no mo, no mo, no mo, no mo. That's a kick-ass tune. That's one of my go-to songs when I talk about Phil Collins and Genesis. Okay, that's my number 2. All right, we are down to the heart of the matter here, man. Tim, number 1.
No, that's Don Henley.
Okay,
all
about forgiveness. Yeah.
My number 1 favorite Genesis Phil Collins track is a song that is so dark it's not even funny, and it's so, even today, it's very, very in the news. It's a song he did with Sting off of No Jacket Required, Long, Long Way to Go.
Wow.
Don't know it. Did Mark vanish into the background, or did he leave?
Yeah,
He did.
Okay. All right. Joe, what's your number 1, man?
All right. So my number 1, it had to happen at least once on the list. Somebody has to do it. I cheated. And so my number one is, in my opinion, one song, and it was originally meant to be one song on the album, but because they didn't want to draw comparison to one of the greatest songs of all time, Supper's Ready, they decided to break it up across the album. And so my number one is the way I listen to it when I listen to it on my phone, I listen to it as the Duke Suite. I listen to it from front to back as the Duke Suite, even though it's broken up across the album. I listen to it as the Duke Suite. So you get Behind the Lines, Duchess, and guide vocal that start off the album. That segues into Turn It On Again, Duke's Travels, and Duke's End. And it was originally meant to be one big track, but for two reasons they broke it up. One, because they didn't want to draw comparisons to Supper's Ready, because they already did Supper's Ready. And two, because they wanted Duchess and Turn It On Again to be the singles. Mm-hmm. And so they broke it up throughout the album. But in my opinion, it is one big track, the Duke's the Duke Suite. And so that's how they played it live on the tour. They played it as one big song on the tour for this album. They would break it up throughout later years. They would only they do the Duke's intro and then they do Turn It On Again at the end of the show. But on the Duke tour, they played it. They introduced it as the Story of Albert, the Duke Suite. And so I'm counting it as my number one because it is by far my favorite thing from the philcollins era of Genesis is the Duke Suite. You get Behind the Lines that Mark mentioned, an amazing way to kick off the album. Yeah. You get Duchess, which I think is just this beautiful song with this haunting kind of like gaity, reverby keyboard drum because it was a drum machine. It wasn't actually them playing the drums. And whenever they play the song live, Phil would come out on stage and turn the drum machine on and then sing the song. And it was kind of cool to see it live, but really great song. And then this little like linking narration guide vocal. And then of course everybody knows Turn It On Again. Yeah. And then the epic instrumental that is Duke's Travels and Duke's End. And I think it all fits together so amazingly. And it's by far my favorite thing from the philcollins era of Genesis is the Duke Suite. And I'm counting it as my number one.
Awesome. All right, Andy, you're up next, man.
Hey, I cheated too.
Awesome.
I didn't know what to choose in number one because if y'all have noticed, I've been going philcollins, Genesis. So my number one, I picked one from Phil and one from Genesis. I had to. There was no other way. My number one by Genesis, No Son of Mine. Love that song. Every time I hear it, I get so emotional. I sing it at the top of my lungs. And my number one by philcollins, once again, off of one of my favorite albums. Mark had touched on this song off of, but seriously, my number one, Wish It Would Rain Down. I love that song. I love the way that Eric plays on the guitar. I think the lyrics are just so bitingly beautiful, and the choir at the end. It's just a perfect package for me. So it would be Wish It Would Rain Down by Phil, number one, and No Son of Mine by Genesis off of We Can't Dance, which
that's a good way to end it, dude. I like that.
Yeah.
Which is a subpar album. We Can't Dance, but it really is. But there are a couple of tracks that stand out. There's just some goofy shit on there.
Yep.
I can't dance. And yeah, that was a weird song.
Yeah, that song I just don't. It's so beneath.
Boing.
Yeah,
the boing sound effect. I cannot get over it. They included a boing sound effect.
Reminded me of a leaky faucet.
Yeah.
She's got a body under that shirt.
Okay. All right, Mark. What's your number one, Mark?
From the Genesis, Mama. I just fucking love that song.
Really? I didn't think any of you would pick that one.
Oh my god, it's one of my favorite songs.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
That's like a signature Genesis song.
It's like even people that hate Genesis. Ralph hates Genesis. He loves that song.
Yeah, it's just a great fucking song. That's my number one, man.
Cool. All right. I got to apologize for Joseph because I lied earlier. I fucking love Against All Odds. That is the fucking best fucking vocal ever by Phil Collins. When I started to do this list, that was my no doubt number one. Shitty movie, but man, what a fucking vocal on that song. If he didn't win anything for that song, he got robbed as far as awards are concerned.
I think
Let's
he won
find out.
a lot on that song.
Did he? But
Yeah.
man,
We'll find out.
It was a very big hit for him. And
Yeah.
another
Dude.
really good soundtrack song is the duet off of White Nights.
Yeah, with Marilyn Martin.
Yeah, Separate Lives. Yeah, you called me from the room in your hotel.
He was the face of the 80s, like I said. Fuck Michael Jackson, fuck Madonna. It's Phil Collins.
I mean, yeah, just hands down my favorite of any Phil and Genesis song, Against All Odds.
Against All Odds won the
walk
Grammy.
away from me.
Yeah.
When all I can do
Did
is
it win
walk
for
from
best song of the year?
Yeah.
It was best pop vocal performance. It won.
It should have won because
it was nominated
and
for an Oscar.
It still fucking hits me when I hear it. It's such a great
It's
thing,
so fresh. It's still
man.
Almost 50 years later or 45 years later. It's still very important.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was a lot of fun, actually. And I learned a lot about Genesis and Phil Collins, which I'm starting to get into now. So that was appreciate you guys giving me some knowledge. I appreciate that.
What I take away from this, Jerry, is for recommended. I would definitely recommend that you check out these two albums, Duke and Abacab.
Damn it! I have to get on eBay when I get off now, man. Shit.
These are the ones that I would definitely recommend checking out. Are Duke and Abacab, back to back, 80 and 81. Right when Phil's solo career was starting up. This is right after his divorce. This is like, I think, kind of like a great encapsulation of this era of Genesis.
Just stay away from Who Done It on Abacab.
Yeah.
I will probably listen to Duke tonight because I really listen to Abacab quite a lot.
Yeah.
So I'll probably listen to Duke tonight.
Who Done It is like one of the worst songs ever.
Yeah. But Jerry, you'd probably be surprised with how many songs you know off these two albums.
I had friends that love Genesis and Phil Collins. I always played their music, so I'm sure if I hear a couple of them, I definitely heard of them before. So.
Yeah, because nobody mentioned
radio.
Yeah, nobody mentioned Misunderstanding.
Misunderstanding.
The title track from Abacab was a big hit. Keep It Dark.
Are we going to do honorable mentions or not?
Yeah.
Oh, we are?
Yeah.
I'll put my list away.
I got mine.
Some on there.
Well, I can get it.
I missed again.
Yeah.
In Too Deep. Invisible Touch. And Don't Lose My Number. It's my honor.
Oh, Don't Lose My Number. Oh, completely forgot about that.
That's on the Mad Max video, man. It was awesome.
Don't lose my number.
Yeah, that's on my honorable mention too, because I got that all groovy kind of love. Another Day in Paradise, Paper Late. I like Paper Late.
Good track. Yeah. Good track.
Land of Confusion, No Son of Mine, and In the Air Tonight.
Cool. All right, Andy. What do you got?
Oh yeah, I got one more night. Absolutely love that song. I Don't Care Anymore. Misunderstanding. That's All. Taking It All Too Hard. Love that song. I don't think anyone said that, and no one either said a Job to Do, which is off of
That's a great one.
Against All Odds, which I took off of my list because I knew what was coming, so I took it off. And Easy Lover, of course.
Yeah. I thought Andy was going to call me out when I said I didn't like Against All Odds, because last night I said, I think I hinted to him that Against All Odds was my favorite song. So either you forgot about that or you kept it quiet.
Oh, well, no, I kept it quiet, and you really didn't give me a hint. You said my number one is going to be...
Yeah, hands down. I mean, it was obviously my number one, but yeah.
But right, no, I was going to give it out. And I forgot about Easy Lover, because when I was going through his albums, it's not on his albums.
No, it's on a Philip Bailey album.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's on his greatest hits, though. He's got it on the greatest hits. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
And that if y'all really want to hear a really good live album out there, you guys, Phil Collins, but seriously live, fantastic live album.
I'll tell you a great live album. You want to hear Phil Collins doing Peter Gabriel Genesis songs? Now that's a good live
That
album.
would be cool. Yes.
Oh well, yes. Yeah, Seconds Out. That's a great double live album. Actually, Bill Buford is on there. He plays on Cinema.
On the Cinema Show. Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you want to hear Phil Collins sing "Supper's Ready,"
yeah. Oh,
great version. Great version.
Supper's Ready so damn good you don't feel the 23 minutes that goes by.
No.
Never.
There are songs like that. I mean, it's like Echoes or The Live Days and Confused for me. It just goes right by.
Yeah.
When I saw Steve Hackett live last year and they did Supper's Ready, I just wanted it to keep going. I just wanted it to go on forever. But
all right, Joe, what do you? I'm sorry.
I was saying my honorable mentions are that, but particularly going through some of the albums here. Entangled was one that I was going to mention off of Trick of the Tail. Beautiful track, one of the really early examples of him doing a really beautiful ballad. Ripples, same thing. Blood on the Rooftops from Wind and Wuthering is a great track. I know I made fun of this album, but I do like a couple of the songs on, and then there were three. I like Down and Out, Undertow, and I do love Follow You, Follow Me, so I recommend those. Like I said, Misunderstanding, Man of Our Times off Duke. Everything I didn't mention off Abacab, the title track Abacab, No Reply at All, Me and Sarah Jane, Keep It Dark, Man on the Corner, all especially Home by the Sea off the self-titled album, and That's All. And then I do love the poppy stuff on Invisible Touch. I love the song Invisible Touch. I love Throwing It All Away, especially. Throwing It All Away is one of my favorite Genesis songs. Land of Confusion, In Too Deep. And then I mentioned the other two songs that I really like off of We Can't Dance, which are Driving the Last Spike and Fading Lights. Those are both really great tracks. And then there's just a ton of solo songs. All the songs you guys mentioned from his solo career are great. Like I said, I'm mainly a hits guy with his solo stuff.
So basically every other song.
Pretty much. I mean, like I said, I'm basically a hits guy with his solo stuff, but when you can have a 3-disc greatest hits album of just your solo career, and it's all like it's all songs that have their own Wikipedia page.
Right. Yeah. That's when you know you had a good song if it's got its own Wikipedia page. Exactly.
Yeah.
A couple of tracks that weren't mentioned that I think are really worth mentioning is Taking It All Too Hard and Hold On My Heart.
I am not a fan of that song.
I love that song.
That is like the big example of a song I do not like off We Can't Dance.
Like I said, I'm a ballad fan with them. I think he sings ballads awesomely, man.
Oh, I think he does amazing ballads, but I think that one just takes it like one too far.
All right.
It's
too sappy.
Thing on the song More Fool Me, which was his verse vocal by that was his first vocal ever on the Genesis album, and it's also selling England by the pound. And,
he sang For Absent Friends on Nursery Crime.
Oh, did he? I thought that this was his first vocal.
No, he did. No? He sang For Absent Friends on Nursery Crime.
Oh, okay.
It's just a little song, like a minute or two long song, but it's a beautiful song. But yeah, More Fool Me as well. Yeah. Those were the two songs he sang lead on when Peter Gabriel was still in the band.
Right.
Awesome. Well, are you done, Andy? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm done.
All right.
I was wrong, but yeah, I'm done.
I will turn this over to Mark to finish this up and take us out, man.
I was gonna say, check out Freeform Rock Podcast. We got Rush Power Windows with Eric RMSP Jordan on there on Friday tomorrow. So check that out. And that's all I gotta say, man. And check out next week. What are we doing? Top 11 MTV videos,
classic MTV videos.
I want my MTV.
Yeah, so Jerry,
MTV did play videos at one time, Kitty.
I know, really shocking.
So they're just celebrating their 45th year, something like
not
that.
Playing shit.
They had some celebration that they're
like 18 of actually playing music videos. Yeah,
but there's always MTV Classic.
Exactly,
that is true. Yep,
exactly.
That is true.
I got a question for you about MTV.
24/7.
Everybody knows that the Bungles was the first video ever played on MTV.
Yes.
What's the second video?
Pat Benatar's,
You better run.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
and Neil Girardo was the first guitar player to ever be on
Yeah.
MTV. So there you go.
Oh wow, yeah.
And I know Sticks Too Much Time on My Hands is up there as well, like really early in the rotation.
And there was an Iron Maiden video. I think it was what was it? One of their songs off their first album were on there. I remember the first 20 videos. Yeah. Look up the first 20 videos.
So they came out in 82.
So, no, their first album was 80.
No, I mean
there was a video.
Came out in 82. So
MTV was 80.
They were recycling old videos that they made in England a lot because England made a lot of videos.
Yeah.
So they pulled.
I'm pretty sure you could go on YouTube and say the first hour of MTV.
Yeah, I think it's there.
I think there's a Wikipedia page too.
Yeah.
All right, so that's what we're doing next week. Andy, promote your stuff, man.
Yeah, next week on the Black Spinner Circle, it's going to be on a Tuesday. We're going to have a vinyl battle by the same band. It's going to be a vinyl battle of Cheap Trick. We are going to be doing Standing on the Edge versus the Doctor.
Oh, Standing on the Edge.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
That's easy.
Versus the Doctor. And speaking of the Doctor,
Tonight It's You just kills the Doctor. There you go. That's just
speaking of the album, the Dr. Fuck will be our guest.
Nice
on there.
And I know he might have an opinion that's different from everybody else. I've heard him talk about those two albums.
Yeah.
So
I'm starting to see. I'm not that familiar with those two albums, but like I was telling Jerry this morning, there's one album that's really sticking out to me quite a bit right now.
For years, it was pretty much like the common fan opinion that the Doctor was the worst Cheap Trick album. And I don't know if it's like coming around, but I know Ralph has been pretty open about this both on Facebook and in his videos and stuff that he likes the Doctor more than other people do.
I mean, it was very poppy. But so was Lap of Luxury, I guess. But Lap of Luxury, I think.
Lap of Luxury.
Yeah, but there's something about a band that you don't expect a poppy album from them, or like poppy like songs that sound a little bit more than poppy because you expect, a muscular sound. It's like, well, I guess I'll explain it on Tuesday, on Black Spinner Circle, and then hopefully Jerry and I will get our first episode of the Gridiron Smackdown, our third season in our NFL podcast, and hopefully we can do that on a Wednesday.
Yep.
And then you got 3 shots down.
Iron Maiden was the 16th video on MTV.
Really interesting.
I
didn't know they made a video of it.
Huh?
The song Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden.
Oh, Iron Maiden. The song Iron Maiden. Oh, wow. Wow. I didn't know that there was a video for that. Great track.
Wow.
All right, Tim, you got
number 5 is the original version of Little Susie that Tesla did.
Yeah.
The PhD song.
Ew.
Yeah. There were some weird videos that you forget about when, let's see, what am I talking about?
August 1st.
We should save this for next week, Jerry.
It's
August
so
1st,
funny.
1981.
We don't talk
Jerry,
anymore.
we should save this for next week.
Who was that? I forgot.
Cliff Richard.
Cliff Richard, yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
it was popular in England.
All right.
Tim, you got anything to say, Tim?
No, if you want to see me, get with Mark and check out Freeform. That's the only thing I'm on.
I want to mention that we did a great episode last night about the Leonard Skinner plane crash on 3 Shots Down with me, Andy, and Kate. Hopefully that'll be up in a couple of days. Please give it a watch. It's nice and short, one of those good short ones. Nice, a lot of cool stuff. A lot of good info.
And we are working on we're going to start working on The Day the Music Died. We're going to be talking about Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Bopper.
Yes.
And we're going to be working on that one. Hopefully we'll be recording that one in a couple of weeks.
Yep. All right, Joseph, man, any final thoughts, man?
Nope. I love Genesis.
All right.
I wouldn't know. We had to force you to come on this show, man.
Yeah, I know. You really had to twist my arm on this one,
All right, guys, man. You guys take it easy.
Yeah,
Till
man.
next time. Later.